good morning, and welcome to Trader TV Live. Futures all starting in positive territory with the NQ and the ES marginally green on the morning, with the Dow as well marginally green, and the Russell 2000 aggressively higher, the highest of all four major averages, up over 0.4%. Likewise with Bitcoin gapping up to start the morning here, 1.25%. Lots to talk about today, guys. Today, the first day of Apple's WWDC, Worldwide Developer Conference. Lots at stake here for Apple as they botched Apple Intelligence going into last year. Bitcoin as well, taking out that $106,000 key technical resistance. Tesla reeling again to the downside below $300 a DARA as it gets yet another downgrade. Got a lot to talk about today. I can go through the list one by one, but there's already so much moving here. Good morning. How was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good, pretty relaxing. How about you?
Not too bad. Can't complain. We're here. Everything's good. The sun's out.
Very much
and
so.
The weather is good, and these markets are green.
Oh, yes. They're very exciting as well. And I think one trade that I've talked about a lot is these names that do not get added to the S&P 500 and how they move. Well, we actually didn't have a rebalance announced on Friday, which is kind of unexpected. Robinhood and AppLovin both to the downside. They were both heavily expected to be added at some point in the near future. Neither of them getting the nod, so big push down. Of course, Tesla with two downgrades this morning. Baird and Argus both giving that one the downgrade. Donald Trump still making some comments about Elon Musk. As we know, here calling him heartbroken. So I think that story will continue to be interesting, and we'll continue to have lots to look at today.
Speaking of Donald Trump, there will be new trade negotiations today between China and the United States out in London. The first day, there will be Scott Bessent, Jameson Greer, as well as Howard Lutnick. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. Lots to talk about today, guys. The market already moving here. Good morning, boys.
Good morning. Markets in the green. Canada. Shay handled business last night.
Shay, yeah. Thank God that's back to 1-1 now.
Yeah, back to 1.
That was a wild one. Yeah,
but
Friday was good. How Bitcoin's 107 right now?
Yeah, Bitcoin, great move. Bitcoin did nothing last week, but Bitcoin on the move. Maybe we get another test of that all-time high this week. Friday, you guys know, like Tesla, like late in the day, Tesla gave it up, and it was a weird thing going on with Tesla at the 300 level, and then all of a sudden, when they finally let the floodgates open up, it didn't fall all that far, but still relatively weak, unfortunately. Not too much relief of the spat over the weekend here. And unfortunately, downside, Robinhood didn't get the nod into the S&P 500 like everybody was speculating, so they're down a few points. But that's a little different, because that's a strong stock that, in this particular case, everyone was expecting news. They didn't get it, so anyone that bought into it, I guess, might have decided to sell off a little bit. But yeah, WWDC is going to be starting. We've seen that whole, like, they do the event and then pick a moment, and at some point something disappoints and you get to sell the news. But it's usually somewhere in the middle or toward the end.
It's a 4-day event or something like that, right?
Well, the keynote is today.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I think at some point there's going to be one of those sell the news in the early on, but we'll see.
Yeah, hey everybody. I hope everybody had a great weekend as we're back here ready to rock and roll. Brendan with the week off, so it'll be Sharif and Adair for most desk-related things, and then of course Sharif and Joe. Joe's here as well. Joe, you got a big win from the Florida Panthers there in double overtime from your boy Brad Marchand there. So that's going to be a good one. The weasel himself, as he's his name is a rat. He's a rat, not a weasel. Over there. That Stanley Cup should be good. So 1-1, both championships. I didn't even realize who won the Canadian Open. I was out all day. I didn't even.
What was the guy's name?
Wasn't Matt Hughes.
The worst part is, like, I actually saw a part of the playoff on the highlights.
There was a playoff. Oh my God!
Yeah, the highlights.
Oh my God!
So dude missed. Okay. Well, one of the guys missed like a relatively short putt to ice it, and then the other dude ended up winning.
Oh,
I don't know their name.
Okay, I'll have to watch some of those highlights. TPC Toronto this weekend. Palantir 128 and trying to move around as well. Okay, look, we're excited. I mean, Apple above 200. Apple's down 18% this year, so Apple has a lot to go with. Last year they talked about upgrade cycle. You have to get the 15 Pro, the 16 Pro, the 16 to get part of Apple Intelligence. They haven't really done anything with that. Let's see what winds up happening here. I think it's going to be a plug-and-play situation where maybe they just go cloud and they go with Perplexity, sign that up with Siri, figure it out after. We're gonna find out what happens with Apple here. It's not a hardware event, right? It's going to be a software event, so that should be interesting for sure. Tesla's going to be on my mind. I don't know. Why is Intel showing up here? I don't think it's actually doing anything. Is it now $20? So yeah, it should be good today. And then Robinhood as well. Interesting that nothing was added or removed, right? So I think that was just a little bit of a nothing burger there. So Robinhood down 3%, probably continues to go a little higher here as the market opens back up. So yeah, I already talked to Randy today. He did some gardening and some planting.
Good weekend for it.
And little outdoor activities. Well, what a great weekend it was. It was a little windy at some points, which was nice. Beautiful weather.
Not too hot, but get everything you need to be done.
What was that? Oh, Dundas? Where? Oh, okay. Some street party, street festival Joe was at there.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Those things are fun, man. That's what you gotta.
That's what the weekend's all
do
about,
in the summer, man. You got to do stuff like that.
Have the
Tesla
fun
to
stuff.
200, man. What the?
200. We're not
Who's
going
saying that? Who's saying that in the
Who
chat?
said that?
Tesla to 200. DVD, RVD. Yeah, look, man. Tesla had a nice day. The thing about it is, I mean, I wonder if you can start looking at it more technically now because you're at the 200 period, the 50 period moving average right now. All that drama that was Thursday, created this big FU candle there. But what it did was it just ran into more support. And we're going to wait to see if we can hold. I mean, obviously, before we get anywhere I don't think 200's out of line. I mean, if the market falls precipitously here on bad China news or no deals are made or just July 9th seems to be nothing, who knows? But then I think that we can get back into 200. I don't think it's crazy, but first things first, 270 maybe today. I don't think we're in that much trouble though yet.
Yeah, nice.
Down 1.6%. I think there's a lot of stuff happening there. And then Google, wow, 175 again. This stock just keeps on trekking higher, up today again, up 0.4 versus the market. So
and Circle.
I know, like we thought we had some good trades on that one on the IPO.
Bye-bye.
And the IPO game just keeps on kicking higher and oops, now my mouse is too slow. Higher and higher and higher here, which reminds me of, let's check out its brethren here, CoreWeave, 143. So that's a little bit downside off of Friday's high, 150 down to 139, back up a little bit now, up 2.5%. Wow. So CoreWeave, we nailed that one day when this happened, but now you're kind of right back up. Wow. This market doesn't really want to give it up, do they? It's are we near?
It's definitely not going to let you down either.
It's definitely not. Yeah, over 6,000 in the S&P 500. Yeah, but the Nasdaq, I just wanted to see. Yeah, we must be moments away now from that high. Yeah, 451 or 441.5. Hi, I'm back. 541. So you're now $11 away on the triple Qs, which looks to me $11 on 530 looks to me like about 1 or 2%. So we're going to get back up there really soon and create another new high. It seems like maybe this week. If all goes well with Apple, I mean, we could be at new highs this week. So
the way Amazon's strong and Nvidia's strong,
Marvell
and Meta's
70.
strong, like there's so many. I don't know how much we need Apple to get there. Probably need Broadcom, but Microsoft just continues to go. It just continues to make fresh tops, although back underneath. And Friday, it made the highs on Friday, but it's back underneath there. I thought the Nasdaq could do it without Apple. It's just a little bit more work, but I think it could happen. This week seems almost primed, like it's going to be the case. But let's see what else we have on tap and get back onto the desk.
Talk a little Warner Brothers Discovery, big news for them. They're looking at splitting the company in two. Let's talk a little bit about the details here. So they announced plans to basically split the company to two publicly traded companies. This will happen by mid-2026. You're going to have two divisions here. One division is going to be a streaming and studios company. You're going to have your HBO Maxes, your Warner Brothers, as well as films in that group. And then you're going to have your legacy TV networks like your CNNs, your TNT, your Discoveries in a new group. They will have two different CEOs with very, very specific reasons. And we've seen this, Adara, from other companies as well, like Comcast, looking at spinning off some streaming and some old legacy TV names.
Well, and you and I were saying here off camera, the fact that who they chose to be CEO of which division is also really, really interesting. So for the streaming side, their existing CEO, David Zaslav, will continue to be the CEO of this side. But then their current CFO, Gunnar Wiedenfels is going to be the CEO, the new CEO here of this kind of more cable or traditional TV side. So that suggests, if you're looking for a potential sale here, that might be the business to sell further because you don't have someone who's more on the financial side leading it, right? So really quickly here too, I do want to mention, I'm seeing some people talk here about strength in some of these semiconductors. NVIDIA pretty strong. A while ago, I guess about an hour ago, we did have comments here coming from Kevin Hassett, who is the U.S. Senior Economic Advisor, and he said the U.S. is expecting some easing in export controls and that apparently rare earths will be released in volume. He expects that to come out of these China negotiations.
Yeah, guys, again, the Chinese-American negotiations take place today in London. You're going to have 3 individuals representing the United States. It's going to be Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary, as well as Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and then U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer are going to be spearheading the American group there. Spearheading the Chinese group will be Vice Chair of Commerce Li Fang, so you'll keep an eye out on that. But just bring it back to Warner Brothers, guys, already gapping up here nicely in the pre-market, 6.25%. Apparently, it was halted momentarily here in the pre-market, awaiting news.
Well, I think that anytime
they also apparently just
sometimes restructuring deals,
1.5.
You will see potential halts. But I think this one might be, I don't want to call it a sleeper. I don't know how exciting it might end up being. I think if they end up spinning off a portion of the business and you divide it into 2, then maybe that makes the legacy a little bit more attracting. But one thing you look for when something's gapping up, at least a lot of us do, is, hey, do some volume and hold VWAP. And it just lost it just now, like a couple of minutes ago. You would have seen it lose that 1060. So a little bit of the wind coming out of the sails of WBD. It doesn't make it that interesting for me. I think if you're looking at some of the small cap and the gappers, you're probably, like the Archers of the world are looking pretty strong. So those eVTOL names, the drone names, those are looking very, very strong. And then as mentioned, the chips, right? Like NVIDIA, it just felt like somebody was in control on Friday, and it was like 141.50, and then the top at 143. And it was just bouncing pretty much the entirety of the day. So when that happens, well, if you can't trade the 141.50 support, which it doesn't look like because we're breaking out, then the prior high becomes the place to look at. This is where all of the action occurred, was either at that bottom 141.5 or into 143. So I think dips into 142.50 to 60 are going to make sense on NVIDIA. But I kind of like AMD better. I don't know if AMD's ready for it today, but it is really close to this consolidation break. Up 2%, slightly better than NVIDIA here, and 119.5 is just setting up for a breakout. A little bit not as obvious of a top on Friday as NVIDIA did, but it had a similar, like 3-pronged bottom there at 116, which I don't think we're going to get a chance at here today. But I like dips in the prior highs. I like breakouts on AMD, and I absolutely love coffee.
Everything coffee.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yes, I'll take it as well. Yeah, AMD's on my mind as well. I was actually looking at that. It'll be on this top of the sticky note here today. Advanced micro devices. I don't know if we're having an issue or not, because we will have Michael Noss. Hopefully we won't. We have a Zoom issue. So cancel that. No Michael Noss. That means you have to listen to us more and more, which sorry about that. All right. So just because on Michael Noss's favor here, I don't know what he was going to talk about, but often, I'll talk about some gold, some silver, some things that are outside maybe of the market scope that we normally talk about, just give some different flavors. But 313 was the high there for gold last week. And we've came back in the last couple of days as the Nasdaq has sort of rebounded a little bit here, and we get a little less fear economically. I don't know if that's going to be right or wrong, but these talks happening now over there in the UK, and then we get Apple coming through today. We get the Nasdaq moments away from all-time highs, and now you have GLD right here trying to maybe come back into the 50-period moving average. Michael did talk about. I don't know if can I change the chart based on here? Yeah, it looks like I can. Silver. So when I was with Michael last week. Was it last week? Yeah, it must have been last week. No, you were here. No, you weren't here Monday, right? So it must have been Monday. We were talking about silver right here, trying to break through. So we got to give credit to the guy over there, Michael, because he had talked about this little bit of a breakout potentially happening. And there we go. The last 3 days, we go from that top of $31.50 up to $33. And this looks even better. There was a weekly chart. I don't want to call it up because it might crash this, but you do have that looping up right now and taking this out. So looks like silver wants to go as well. Copper, COPX. moving. You know, names like Freeport McMoran right here, FCX. Wow, up to $41. That's surprising me too. There it goes, $28 moments ago, up to 41. So there it goes. That's going to be a nice mover there for FCX. Yeah, I think that there's just so much more happening other than all of these tech names. JP Morgan looking at that 270. That would be a break high as well if we can get anything in and around there. This looks like it's trying to go through right now. Boom. I mean, 270 is a couple minutes away, but that could be something here on the banking side of things as well. We had Wells Fargo last week, had that asset top lifted from them, right? So we'll have to wait to see if they can get going as well. We had that at the sticky note last week at around 70, I believe, or as that bottom. It did come in one day, but since then, nicely up. And then this is breaking out as well on the daily chart. That was a, no, you know what? It must have been 75, not 70. Yeah, because that's too long ago. 75, so right there, that looks like a great level there on WFC, Wells Fargo, if you can grab 75. So there's a few things happening. And then Bitcoin, I don't know where IBIT went out on Friday night, but I don't think Bitcoin was at 108, right? So there it is. Yeah, so there's IBIT right now. I'm going to sneeze, up 3 and a bit. We didn't talk about any quantum.
They were a little quiet.
Hello.
They're a little quiet. Bless you.
Yeah, there he goes. Are they quiet today? I was looking to see $19.
QBTS is the strongest of the group.
All right.
But there is news. IonQ has news.
Okay.
So IonQ's making, they're like it's an acquisition, but it's like an all-stock acquisition, but it's up anyway. So you'll see IonQ. That's the one.
Oh, wow. That's
the one that's running.
They're not getting bought out. They're buying something.
No, they're making a purchase, but it's like 99%. It's a weird deal because it's like 99% stock and then like a small amount of like just throwing in 10 billion cash for apparently no apparent reason.
10 billion cash.
But it's like 1 billion
nice
in
to have that much
stock.
cash.
It's like a ridiculous amount in stock.
Who has 10 billion in cash?
Oh, sorry, 10 million.
Oh, 10 million. Oh, I was going to say
it's like an infinitesimally small portion of
one.
the deal is in cash. It's like 0.1%. But IonQ, that's the runner today. A little bit quiet for QBTS, relatively speaking. Yeah, but IonQ, that's when you want to watch. And we're also ready for some upgrades and downgrades. We've got Joey Options delivering it.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. A lot to talk about on the upgrades and downgrades. Some interesting names here on the right side of the chart, as you can see. But let's go through some of these upgrades here. We got Oklo getting that upgrade here by Seaport Research, and then Charles Schwab also getting that nod as well, too, by Redburn Atlantic. And then Goodyear with another upgrade as well here, too, guys. And then eToro by Jefferies getting that upgrade. Now, on the downgrade side, we got BMO getting that downgrade here this morning, guys. Chewy also falling in that column, and then Robinhood getting that snub in the S&P. Not a good look there. And then a fan favorite, Tesla, also getting the downgrade by Baird right there, guys. 320 price target.
Not too bad. 320 price target. Well, I guess just means you guys were pretty bullish on them before. Robinhood. Catching the downgrade, cashing some strays. This could provide an opportunity to buy a strong stock. I mean, it did get bought up with the expectation it was going to get into the index, of the S&P 500. And people always forget, like, just because they didn't get in here, like, there's still a lot of time. You know, someone just needs to come out. You could easily see them next quarter or by the end of the year. I'd suspect by year end, Robinhood's going to have their time. And there was some nice buyers in here in the mid-60s, and if you get back down there again, I think that's your first stop. So a little bit of disappointment for people that were anticipating and buying in and expecting to get that bit of a bump, but it does not mean that it is over. I know when Coinbase got into the index, half our viewers thought that Robinhood was going to get in before them. I think this one's inevitable. It's just a matter of time here, and if you have to wait a few extra months, not the end of the world. It might just provide you with a dip buy.
All right, yeah, I was looking here at some of those drone stocks starting to go upside a little bit. ACHR trying to go. These are just all starting to get going here as President Trump signs executive order to strengthen U.S. airspace security by addressing drone threats from Friday. There it is. So still, there it goes, right into the afternoon. Huge move up there after hours into 1140 ACHR. Our guy Joby over here, which you're not going to find me in one of these things, but there goes Joby again, a Chinese name, a little bit interesting to come into play there. Rocket Lab, RKLB, or oopsies, that's the Brazil. We're going to talk about all of these names, or sorry, Brazil, Blue Ocean. You're forgetting that. Like, that's the thing about trading here at Real Trading is like we have all these different exchanges. So Rocket Lab on Blue Ocean, that's surprising that that's a Blue Ocean name, I guess. But there it goes, up 5% as well. So it looks like Archer is going to be the leader in this group. It's funny coming into today because the Nasdaq's not really doing anything. So I feel like we are going to have to look elsewhere to get some of this Momo because, come on, charts, what's going on? You sleeping here today? There it goes, up through $10, bouncing off of this $8-9 level, which seems to be pretty sweet to us, man. There's that breakout, which happened about a week or so ago. Let's call it last month. Right there, breaking through $9 all the way to 14, right back into 9, then right back up here again, looking to break out. This actually looks pretty sweet. I think I'm going to put this one on the sticky note today because Archer Aviation, looking pretty sweet. If we can get any pullbacks, 200 period looks good to me, man. 1050 here on the 50 period moving average looks good to me as well. So here we go on this name. And then just real quick, just to check it out, because we do not have ACHR Michael Noss here today. Let me just check out what this. Soups. Oh, man, got to go over to details first. ACHR. Just wanted to see what the short float was on this name before we go back. What am I doing here? ACHR. Oh my God, AC. I'm yelling at the charts to wake up. All right, 15% right there for a short float on Archer Aviation. So that could be something coming through there. I'll clear the news feed. Let me see what, whoopsies, there I go, I get rid of the whole thing. All right, so I'm gonna call up the news feed here. Let me see what is one of the top stories here. MSTR acquires, just 1,000 Bitcoin right there for another $110 million. And so, yeah, not too bad right there. eToro, we just had that, so that's also on the upgrade side of things today. I still like that Webull situation down there around $10, $11 it's at right now. It's at 11.20, I think. Right now for Weeb, 11.10.
A little bit lower.
That's a nice move there. We had that bottom there. Wow, 10. That was just there on Friday. I know you got into some of this as well. I saw Big Bear AI moving a little bit this morning. Okay, we're trying to break through $4, so that could be something that eventually goes. A lot of these sort of lower names are starting to run a little bit. Our Marvell that we're long at 66, right there, 69, looking to break through 70. So there's some plays. And then we sold some SMR, right? I mean, and that's huge. Now, again, we saw Oklo with the upgrade, I think, on that list as well. There goes SMR up 3%. So, yeah, just a little bit all over the place here with some different names. But, yeah, I mean, the market's going to give us what the market gives us. We haven't even talked about Palantir yet.
Well, yeah, Palantir on Friday was a good recovery day for PLTR. Thursday was a lot of things, but I think Thursday was, miscategorized as an only Tesla thing is what I think matters. Because, there were a few stocks, like Palantir chief among them, which when you looked back and had a sober idea of what happened on the session, like Palantir was just as an aggressive a move. And then on Friday, gapped it and almost came all the way back. So if you think about big reference prices, where we dropped on that Thursday, those are always going to be key levels. So Palantir 130, I think, is squarely in play. When it's within a couple of dollars, you're in play on Palantir. And the other thing is this Circle stock. I mean, it's just hanging out, chilling.
Look at VinFast.
Only 3 days. Oh, VinFast reported.
Yeah, I know. Up
VinFast
12%.
reported up 12%, but Circle another 16% in here today. Every day going to pay for locates for that one shot. There were a couple of opportunities, but there was a very, very distinct top that got made that we're both short on Friday. And you can sort of see this kind of a parabolic move, topping tail into VWAP pullback. So if I see something like that again on Circle, at this point, if it did a similar move, it'd be like 135 or something, maybe even a 140. But a very distinct trend, and then a very distinct topping tail for a trend break. It's moving around a ton, and as long as it's doing volume, we'll try to keep coming back to it, because it's not going to be super hot volume forever here on Circle. But while it lasts, you got to enjoy it.
I do want to say shout out to Sebastian. He says he's chilling out in Italy right now, so
nice, enjoying
the good food. So congratulations on that. I don't know what part of Italy you're at there, but thanks for watching, and keep it going there. Probably pretty warm there in Europe.
Imagine.
So. Look, I really like AMD is going to be my #1 trade idea on here. I'm just going to work out on a few other ones. We added Archer Innovation as well. And I'm trying to figure out about the Nasdaq, but Nasdaq's relatively flat right now, so I think we'll probably leave that alone. I was just trying to figure out some levels, and then even SMR up 3%. I don't mind pullbacks for SMR into this top of 34.50 as well. That had a nice real nice move back into 30 where I had sold it, and now you get 2 days of straight fire right back to the upside. SMR right here, it's new scale, looking to break through 37. There's lots happening. All right, it's been here probably for way too long, so let's go back over to the desk and figure out what the... I was going to say, I was kind of thinking about something to call it. Like, we don't have, there's a unique name for pretty much all of us, but we don't really have one for Adara and Sharif, I don't think. But anyways,
we got to give him a nickname.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back over to the desk and see what's going on.
Adara.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
I've never actually thought about that.
I actually haven't.
The former Midday duo. I don't know. Whatever.
We'll come up with something. It'll happen for sure someday.
VinFast guys gapping up here aggressively in the pre-market as they announced their Q1 2025 earnings to the tune of about 10.8%. Look, guys, they grew substantially here, both in deliveries and in revenue. Let's talk about what they did in revenue. That bumped up 150% year over year, and guys, they made 16.3 billion Vietnamese dongs, which is about $656 million US. Sequential revenue did decline 1.2% quarter over quarter. That's more seasonal than anything else. They delivered about 36,330 vehicles a day, but they're not only delivering vehicles, are they?
They're also delivering e-scooters, Sharif, and I have to say the year-over-year increase for both of these, pretty solid. For those EV deliveries that Sharif just mentioned, that 36.3 thousand, that's up 296% year over year. Their e-scooter deliveries were just shy of 45,000, about 44.9 thousand. That's up by 473% year over year. So not a bad look at all this morning for VFS, about a 4% shortfall for VinFast.
And funny enough, I actually saw my favorite one of their lineup, the VF9, on the highway, and it was blue.
Look at that.
Yeah, and it was a good-looking car, guys. How many guys have you seen on the highway?
You should just get a blue one, Sharif. I just think you should.
I
I mean, that has to be some sort of a sign.
I've seen him on the once or twice, but it's been a while. Although the amount of traffic I saw coming back from up north, if there was one, I'm sure I would have spotted it. Yeah. It was the fun thing about you get in the nicer weather. If you ever head up north here, then you're coming back on a Sunday. You either leave really early, or you're going to hit that traffic. But yeah, good look here on VinFast. And there's a lot of stocks that are breaking out today, and I get it. Probably there'll be more interest in IonQ and the Archer Aviations of the world today, understandably, on a volume base. But you can do a lot worse than breaking the 200 period moving average. You want to see it hold above, though. Like, it's not enough. Like, the last time this was at the 200 period, it kind of faded off. Little different story after the report. It needs to close above 380 and then sustain the move a little bit higher. I think then you get a little bit more interesting. I just wanted to note, because one update, because there was a second piece of news on IonQ that I put into the chat. Like, yes, there is the purchase. Who are the guys that they're purchasing? Does it really even matter? It's like they're buying Oxford Ionics for $1 billion, but they're also trading higher after the announced results of a collaborative research program with AstraZeneca, Amazon Web Services, and NVIDIA to develop and demonstrate a quantum-accelerated computational chemistry workflow. Bit of a mouthful there, but
Please explain that.
Look, I'm not gonna explain. You want me to explain that?
Yeah. Come on, man.
No, but there is another story going on with IonQ. I'm not explaining that. I'll allow the smarter heads to do that. But I think this is a name that needs to be on the radar, at least today. It's been a super strong stock. The quantum space has been in favor. It's now breaking out of a little pullback that we've had. Like 41, the prior high, looks pretty solid. Not even sure you get that far. And 42, which I love, is a great number. 42 last week, these wick tops, I think that's a great base. So if you pull back into that prior base, wasn't on my note, but I'm going to add this one to the list here, looking at the 42 level. When I thought they were just making an acquisition, but there's another catalyst here, which sounds a little bit better here. So the 42 level on IonQ for some dips here.
All right, make sure you do go over and grab our watch list. You can see that QR code right there on the screen. Make sure you scan that, get ready to rock and roll. It's the best watch list in the business. Lots of names on there today. Chinese ADRs, Tesla's on there, Apple's on there, Archer's on there, crypto stocks are on there, Robinhood and AppLovin's on there, Circle Internet Group's on there, NVIDIA's on there, Meta Platforms is on there, we kind of skipped over that Warner Brothers story, WBD. Well, they started with it, but we didn't even look at it. I think it's always good when you break up a company. I mean, you're trying to release some value. I keep on threatening the DOJ and all that to try to break up Google. I think that'd be great for them. But there we go, man. Warner Brothers, nice move higher. I was just wondering, like, which would you rather be running? So HBO, Warner Brothers Pictures, DC, or CNN, Discovery, TNT Sports, and Discovery Plus? I think I'd like the HBO side of that one, and the Warner Brothers, the movie side, rather than the news-based.
I'm biased,
sports.
I love HBO, but
the TNT Sports, I guess, is good. But TNT Sports, is it that big of a deal? Is it? I don't know. I mean, for us, we don't. TNT's like a added-on channel here. We don't. It's not like it's part of our cable package. But
take HBO for.
Yeah, HBO I don't think is making very much money, but the picture side of it, the Warner Brothers, the movies, and then the DC, right, the DC comics. So there's that as well. But yeah, so there you go. Warner Brothers been really nice off the bottom, that's for sure. You're going to be running into something up here at 11, but that's before all this sort of split up talk and was talked about. So I think we could take out 12, 13 bucks. We'll see what happens with Warner Brothers. I think it's more of an interesting trade when we get up here, but there it goes. I think you want to take some profit if you're long down into here. I don't really like the media business. I just think it's so competitive. And, I'm watching more things. There's a new Owen Wilson where he's a caddy thing on Apple right now called Stick or something. We started watching that. There's just so much, and there's so much on Apple I haven't watched. And it's just, I don't know, this whole content creation stuff with HBO and Warner Brothers and then Showtime and Apple and Amazon and Netflix. They're all Disney. They're all trying to make, eventually it's going to get too expensive. Like the last season of Squid Game is coming out and then it's like, okay, then what? And then there's more and more. You're just gonna have to pay more and more as media becomes more and more expensive. So we'll wait. Yeah, this guy just canceled. What's up, Just Doit? Canceled his Disney. I canceled Disney about a month and a half ago, but we're not missing it or anything. But I don't know. Whenever there's new things, somebody on our baseball team liked Andor. I know you like that as well.
I love
so
Andor. It's great.
Yeah, there's lots of different things. Righteous Gemstones.
Lilo
is
Stitch
awesome.
isn't that good though. People are saying that.
No, I was Lilo and Stitch. I thought it was fine for a kids movie, but yeah, I don't know why it's breaking all those records though.
I've heard
people watch more than Mission Impossible.
It's a kids movie. That's the thing. Like, when you get the families out, like that's where the money is. The kids get excited to go watch it.
No, I haven't seen any reviews. It was fine, but for me, it was just like whatever. I mean, the kids liked it. But when my 13-year-old boy liked it, I think it was probably fine because he doesn't care about Lilo and Stitch.
Probably.
Gia just was she was getting the Stitch little plushy things. Even she didn't even know what Stitch was, and she was getting those. So.
That's how they get you, man.
These kids. Oh, well, they get me.
They get you with the toys and all the add-ons and all that stuff. But speaking of add-ons, no, it's just one of the things that as you were mentioning the watch list out there. Always make sure you get all the way to the bottom because I know we have a lot of small cap watchers out here, and I see at least a few people mentioning KNW, which is one of the best. No Labs. If you know, now you know. If you don't know, now you know.
If you don't know, yeah.
This one's trying to gain, another gapper, actually trying to gain VWAP here, solid volume. So there's a lot to watch. And when we go over the watch list, remember, we're going to talk a lot about the big cap names and the Teslas and the NVIDIAs and the AMDs of the world and Apple, of course, but believe me, there's something for everybody. So whether it's a couple of dollars, $3 stock here, an IMQ there, or Archer Aviation, we're here for you. But let's head back up to the desk and see what the futures have in store.
Who are the futures?
I think
6,007, boys. That's where we closed out Friday on the ES June contract. The overnight high, 6,019.3 quarters. So we're already above. We've closed above, and we maintain our level above 6,000. So if we can, let's see if we can use 6,000 as our support level. If we're looking at resistance, we're going to use that 25-point level as resistance. So we'll look 6,025 as resistance. All right, guys, make sure to get that watch list every day. Adara.
Oh, yeah.
Adair prepares it, and we all use it on the desk. No good morning routine is ready without a good watch list. It lets you know what's gapping up on the day, why, and how to organize your morning there. All right, guys, let's look first here at Apple. The first one on the watch list today is the beginning of WWDC, Worldwide Developer Conference. Widely anticipated that Apple will have something to say about their very maligned Apple Intelligence strategy, which was basically put on the back burner with the major updates being slated for 2026. Adara, can we expect anything today?
We are expecting not a lot. According to Ming-Chi Kuo here, who's a noted supply chain analyst, he's basically saying that the AI strategy is likely to take center stage, but there's not going to be any breakthroughs with regards to their AI technology. Now, the one thing he did say that could be interesting here is that apparently their on-device AI implementation could be in focus. There's possibly going to be some rebranding of Apple Intelligence and Siri, both of which I'm sure would be pretty welcomed by people who use Apple products. They also said they're going to be talking about potentially integrating AI at the OS level to improve the user experience. So a couple things on watch here. Bloomberg last week as well reported that we're likely not going to see anything crazy new with regards to the AI side of things. But of course, that's really what investors are hoping for, at the very least, if not expecting.
All right, guys, just to give you some idea of Apple's recent price action, 20% off the all-time highs in December, as well as the only Magnificent Seven name that's actually down in the quarter to the tune of 8%.
Obi's letting us know that CoreWeave is also going higher. All right, so I just put out the sticky note just literally right now. We finally got some names on there. AAAA, the third A right here, Apple. Look, I just want to look at it right now. I'm not sure we need to do anything. WWDC is 1 p.m. Patience matters, but it's a watch list staple. I mean, basically, I'm going to have it on, just like we're going to have Meta on when it's doing its Oculus Day, or Google when it's doing its whatever I/O event or whatever they were doing there. Their AI event. I think iOS again. But there it is. Okay, so Apple, look, 204. So we sort of held that there, that we dumped into it on Friday, held it right at the close, kind of bumped a little bit higher, started the day on Friday, I guess that's midday there, busting through that 204 area, came back in. Are we able to drop it back? Friday was a little turbulent. I wasn't here, but we had a lot of excitement there from Thursday, where down, right? Apple being down 19% this year, I think it needs to get a little bit going on that. A lot of these names, Microsoft's at the highs. We saw Meta bounce back quite nicely as well. I just think it's Apple's turn. And they disappointed last WWDC and went up 10%. So if this was this time last year, it's 10% higher by Friday, what it was last year. We didn't really get anything. So I think right now, I'm looking for like a plug-and-play sort of solution here, where I don't even need to upgrade the phone. We could just attach Siri over to Perplexity or over to Gemini or something like that, and that could rally the stock a lot, honestly. But then I think about it the other way around. If they're just going to upgrade Siri and you don't need a new product upgrade, then what's up with that upgrade cycle? And maybe that doesn't come through, and therefore people will be disappointed. But you have that top, this top again. Are we about to make another one? So right here, Apple, this is like a pretty, I guess it doesn't even go that far. Right there, we kind of broke that right into there. But there's the trend right now coming right back in. So we're going to see if Apple can get above basically this level right here, 206.50, 207. And once we break that, then I think it's a nice move on the daily. So we'll wait. But for me, just 204. Let's see if it can come into play. Bounced off of it right here before getting higher. Made the move back into 204 again. That's why we said just be patient. We'll see if Apple can work at this level. At the end of the day, it's just another stock. And, you're up a little bit today against the market. 1 p.m. is the time. And then it probably fades. It probably just fades off,
That's where my head's at.
I don't really know what to.
I don't think I traded till after 1 o'clock, to be honest. I think we've seen it so many times where whether it's Meta, whether it's Apple, whether it's Alphabet, you just allow the event to start, allow the keynote to go on, and then just look for a bit of a trend reversal at that point. Maybe it'll be at 206. That's a level. I think 209 is a level as well. It could happen at those levels. And if it does, then I'll be looking for a turn. That'll be in the afternoon. And if there's, like Sean said, it's been languishing while everything in the Mag 7, not named Tesla, has been showing some strength here. So it does have a lot of catch-up to play. Some of it has to do with what we'll talk about next. Some of it has to do with their execution with regards to AI. But whatever it is, maybe this event gets it started. If it does, I'll care more later in the week to look for the longs. It's just let the event start, and I'll look for 06 or 09 to show me a bit of a curl. So I'm not trading this thing until we get into the afternoon. The other thing to consider here is, hey, another potential close above the 50-period moving average. The last time it did this, it couldn't break out. I think this time, if it's able to actually close above and break out, that's starting to look a little bit better and more constructive for a swing.
China and the United States meeting today in London for more negotiations. It's part of the U.S.-China economic trade consultation mechanism that was put together by Donald Trump and President Xi last week when they spoke on the phone. It's going to be attended today by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer. On the other side of the desk is going to be Li Yingfang, who is the U.S. Vice Chancellor, or sorry, the Chinese Vice Chancellor for economic policy. This obviously takes us back to the 90-day suspension that was agreed to in May for the suspension of tariffs, where the United States dropped their effective tariff rate on China from 145 to 30. China responded as well from 125 down to 10. But it wasn't all smooth sailing, Adara, was it? Because there were certain issues with the two countries.
Yeah, so the issues here seem to be related to rare earths agreements. We know Donald Trump went on Truth Social and said no more Mr. Nice Guy because he felt as though they violated the agreement. We had Trade Representative Greer also saying that China had basically violated its end of the agreement, though Scott Bessent, U.S. Secretary of Treasury, had more just kind of said that these talks had stalled until Donald Trump and, President Xi had spoken. Now they've spoken. You can always check these out on X at TTV Research as well. This is just a handy look at Trump's trade team. So Bessent, Lutnick, and Greer, this top row, these are the three that are going to be they're currently in London discussing with China. Kevin Hassett at the bottom here, he is the National Economic Council Director. He made some comments this morning on CNBC. He thinks the meeting is going to be pretty short. It'll end with, quote, a big, strong handshake, and he thinks that some of these export controls might be eased. However, the one thing is we actually already have sources in the U.S. saying this meeting could go into tomorrow. So a little bit mixed.
I was just going to build on your point there, Dara. So the Chinese delegation has actually reserved time from June 8th to 13th. So by no means is it going to, in likelihood end today. Just to give you an idea, so the Chinese were restricting critical mineral exports. The U.S. responded by obviously advancing some AI chip restrictions as well as pulling some visas, Neil.
Absolutely. Like I don't know how productive the early stages are going to be. There's, the tensions between the U.S. and China with regards to trade have been ongoing for some time, marking multiple administrations. So the idea that something quickly is going to get resolved here or big announcements early on, I don't know that we're going to see anything like that. But it's a good start, and the market's been pricing in some relief here regardless. The chip names look the best. I like AMD, and that made my list when I sent it out earlier today. But let's acknowledge NVIDIA probably wanted to make a run at its highs. So it's, whoops, that's not split adjusted. There you go, so leave it there. If we break out this channel, you've got a couple of layers of resistance. One at obviously the 45 level, and then again here at about 47, 48, and then you'll have just above 150 on NVIDIA. Somebody on Friday was buying the 141.5 level. And you can sort of see, it was very much in the midst of a channel, and it held that channel the entirety of the afternoon. Well, late morning to the afternoon. So if you get down to 141.5, that's where I'd be picking up. But I like AMD with a similar channel, 116 over and over again, and it's got a 119.5 breakout as well. So the chips are looking strong. I think that has a good deal to do with the optimism with regards to the negotiations starting out, and they're kind of primed to rally. I think you kind of pick your poison in there. Obviously, probably good time to mention that CoreWeave. I don't know when else we'll mention CoreWeave, but CoreWeave again making some fresh highs. CRW. Always have to read it out loud to get it right. CRWV again making another run in the top. There was no specific story here. This is something that had made a bit of a high late last week, and just watch out the 150. 150 has been a big resistance spot. As much as a stock as strong as this can have a big resistance level, it held just underneath on Friday, and this is exactly where it kind of dumped off. It's 3-pointed top, more like 149, but once Thursday, Friday high, pre-market high as well. So CoreWeave could rally, but it's AMD that's on my mind.
Look, we got Amazon long last week at 204. Just ahead of this 200 period moving average. We really like that. Now we're finally starting to break out. I think Amazon's another one of these winners in more China talks. If we can sort of, get some of these goods and not worry too much about it, added costs, and Amazon can just keep on, strolling around with their business model. There it goes. We're trying to break up higher right now through this 214, 215 area. I wrote down, let's see if we can get 213. I don't. That's where we closed on Friday. If we can get anything down into here for Amazon, I really, really like that stock. And then FXI, just the overall ETF, it looks like we've been bullish on this name for a very, very long time. Just the market, not us in general. But, it's been a huge move up from that bottom, $29 up to $36. Again, looking to take out that high of 39. I don't know if we're not going to get there today, but we've just broken out on FXI as well. So, if you're just going to look at this chart, there's been the highs. We bounced around this 36.50 area. Now you're getting a little bit higher, trying to break through. So FXI beating the S&P, beating the Nasdaq right now. What is the S&P? Up 0.14. I think you got to just stay long and strong on some of these China names. So anything pull back into the 200 period might even be a decent start. 36.75. You're coming into that play. Watch out now. I think that there is a deal to be had here. If we're only talking rare earth metals, I think it can get done. The China needs to sell the rare earth metals to somewhere, so they're going to have to sell them to the largest makers of the chips back into the United States. There we go. This rare earth metal deal, plus a deal possibly with NVIDIA coming through, allowing them to buy and sell chips at will to China, or at least their sort of compact chip. I like it. NVIDIA likes it today. You're breaking out all over the place on many names. So today's going to be a pick and choose. But what I wouldn't choose is the market. Right now, the Nasdaq is just like doing this, right? So we got to wait for this market to open up in 15 minutes to give us an idea of which way we're looking. Because if the market heads lower here and breaks some of these pre-market levels, then yeah, NVIDIA has just given us a beautiful top at 144. So that could be something up there. We triple touched it here. That could be a good little short coming through, but we need to wait for this market to get going. So yeah, man, the deal's gonna be made on China. The fact that we went from 125 down to 10, the fact that we cut everything so aggressively, there has to be something done here. It's an easy way for Trump to sort of, congratulate himself and his administration. Scott Bessent, from what I know, from what I hear, is pretty, he's the guy to deal with, a lot nicer, a lot easier, level-headed. So I think if they're talking nicely in China, something will get done there today in the UK, and we'll get it all figured out with China and everybody else. So what's up to everybody in the chat, the Millionaire Piper, Boston Tom, everybody. What's up to Ramin here today? And just keep it going, everybody. Now we're going to talk about Tesla. I'm a little concerned about Tesla. What's up, Sam? Happy to you too. If you're American, he says, "What's up to Canada?" Oh yeah, and all that stuff that was going on in LA is just wild. I was actually wondering if some of that might be Palantir, might be a good boon for Palantir there because of immigration and control of the borders and stuff. But wow, that's nuts in LA. We hope everybody is safe down there. And more to come on that, man, as the National Guard and all this kind of stuff. So we just hope everybody is safe. And if you have family down there,
yeah, just.
I don't want to stay inside or anything, so I'm not there. I'm not there, but
I would say stay.
Yeah, we hope everybody for that. The sticky notes out. I'll put another link in the chat as people are asking. So there it goes. And we're going to go back over to the desk right now because let's just go talk Tesla, Meta, and then something Tesla. Under that note. But there it is. Oh, Circle. Okay, Circle and CoreWeave.
Yeah,
it should just be like IPO bonanza. Like anytime you get an IPO that anyone's talking about, it seems to want to go higher. So
money.
We'll talk about that. But one thing that's not IPOing today is Tesla.
It's definitely not, Sean, but it's down to the tune of almost 2.5%. Bear today, the reason why, downgrading it from buy to neutral, keeping that same $320 price target, though. Basically, what they say is the robo-taxi excitement here could be a little overhyped, and it's already priced into the stock. And they're also citing a new variable here called key person risk, Adara. What do they mean by that?
Well, by key person risk, they refer to some concerns with Elon Musk, of course, a key person to the company. He is Tesla's CEO, and he has had quite the public, eventful falling out with President Donald Trump, who he was formerly, of course, allied with. They basically, what Baird's here is saying is that they have no indication that this might significantly change the company, but it does add to brand damage concerns about Tesla. Argus Research also downgraded Tesla from buy to hold, and they said more or less the same thing here. Their emphasis was less on the robo-taxi with what we saw with Baird and more on the Trump-Elon concerns. They also added the expiration of EV credits, could hurt Tesla.
Hyped or not, priced in or not, Adara, we do expect robotaxi trials to start taking place in Austin by the end of this month. So we should anticipate some news coming out of there, boys.
Yeah, they're going to need some good news in that regard because sentiment's bad and it's still in the penalty box. The 50 period got taken after the 200 did. On Friday, that's not a good sign. That was where you shorted on Friday, I almost said yesterday, was that 200 period moving average on the daily at 305. I'm not sure we see a shot at that, or even the 300 area we had the breakdown at the end of the day. Like there was like 2 trades on Tesla that you could have had. You could have had that 305 on Friday, and then you could have had this like fade right in here when it broke down off the 300 level. That's pretty much it. So a continuation play to me is off the lows, like prior lows, 293, or maybe we get that 300 level. So I'm looking to short those pops on Tesla until it shows me, a little bit of a, I don't know, like a double bottom on the daily or some kind of strength that remains in the penalty box. And yeah, they're absolutely in need of some good positive news. Just not here yet. Clearly weak relative to the market still with Tesla.
Yeah, I just wrote down something very, very simple for Tesla, man. 295 short, it's been downgraded today. It can't hold 300. It just looks weak. I mean, if you just take away all the, background of it, there's Tesla, there's Amazon. So these are 2 names that I'm looking at today for sure. But yeah, Tesla, it's going, look, man, we write the note 45 minutes ago and we were at 291. I was looking at this 295 right there. It was where the 200 period moving average was at that time at 8 o'clock. And now you're just like, starting to just get worse and worse and worse here, especially as this market starts to, I don't want to say bleed because it's not, but as the market heads lower, Tesla is basically ignoring the market and kind of just doing its own little grind here. It's the same kind of thing, man. It's like I like Apple long above 200. I like Tesla short underneath 300. It was a bad day there on Thursday. We had a lot of back and forths. I still like Tesla, man, but yeah, it's going to have those political headwinds and tailwinds the next little while. And right now, I just feel like they're headwinds and they're just heading to the downside. We do have China deal in the wings, so that could be possible. I'm still going to stick with 295 just because we know how much Tesla can move. But at the end of the day, there's the bottom right there, and that's kind of why we're playing off of it. We did have the 200 period moving average. Now we don't. So we're just going to have to try to play off of some of these bottoms and some of the closes there from Friday. I don't think it goes upside there without some kind of news, and you're already down 3%. So let's take advantage of any kind of a bump up at all with Tesla. I do want you to see that QR code that's on the screen right now. This is a new sponsor. Meet the future of commodity finance with ticker BSGM. Through a bold share exchange transaction with StreamX, BSGM is one of the first Nasdaq-listed companies pivoting fully into real-world asset tokenization. Oh, interesting. Backed by icons like Frank Giestra and Sean Ruzin, BSGM is building a blockchain-powered by platform to bring commodity markets on-chain. The $142 trillion commodity market just found its digital future in BSGM. So, yeah, go check those guys out and, click the link on yours, or I guess use the QR code or link in description to find out more about BSGM. So we want to thank them for sponsoring this segment. So, all right, so there it is. That's Tesla. Let's go back over to Meta, another name that's, I guess, approaching its all-time highs again.
5%, Sean, off those April lows. That's where Meta is now higher. Good look for Meta. They're also in advanced talks to spend invest, that is, $10 billion in an AI startup called Scale AI. This would rank among the largest private AI funding rounds ever if finalized. No formal agreement between the companies, and neither has actually commented at the moment. Just to give you an idea who Scale is, founded back in 2016, they provide data labeling services for training machine learning schools. Some of its clients are Microsoft, OpenAI, etc. Valued at about $14 billion in the last round, but the valuation now set to be up to $25 billion. This also moves Meta a little step closer into military or different types of AI business than they've been typically running, Adara.
Yeah, so let's talk about why that is the case. We know previously there was that Meta-Anduril partnership. that was announced there. So with Scale AI, they do have a lot of commercial customers, including Etsy, General Motors, OpenAI, PayPal, but they also, much like Palantir, they work with governments, including most notably here, the government of the United States. So very similar to Palantir. Apparently, they also work with them on military-related projects. They also work with Qatar for some different projects as well. So Scale AI is very much involved and in the pocket here in this military space. So is Anduril. Meta could be trying to pull a bit of a Palantir here potentially.
You said Qatar really well.
Thank you. I've learned.
I'm very impressed.
Well,
I fully learned from how you've
you
said
know,
it.
you know if Sharif is impressed because he always gets it right. Meta's been getting it right for a while, and love the stock. It's not really doing a ton today. So if you look at what happened on Friday, like Tesla had a similar consolidation that it broke away from. Well, Meta's exactly where we were when we left you. Like the entirety of the afternoon show, Meta was in a range between 67 and 700, like 697, sorry, and 700, and we're still in the exact same range here today. So until that breaks, I don't know that it's going to be the trade today. I think you're holding on to this into the test of the highs, which should be coming this week, next week, whichever one you like. I don't think I'll be touching it when it's not really moving on this catalyst. It's been a very, very good rally and a steady rally here for Meta. But there hadn't been a ton of day trades. There was one, I did have one trade on it, which I would look for something like this if it happened again. And that was, it just failed to break at the open, did a clean dip, trend reversal into VWAP a couple times. So like big trend down and then reversed into VWAP. That's the kind of trade maybe I'd put on. But look, it's doing absolutely nothing in here. I think this is a stock that you're more or less just holding it and not trading it instead.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Meta. The thing is, it is hard to day trade until you get to some sort of key levels, right? And so right now, I would just use sort of this 200 period moving average on the 5-minute chart, which brings us down to 694. So if you like the stock, fine. But I mean, it's not doing anything today. I'd rather trade it when it's actually a little bit active. So it's on our rundown, but realistically, I mean, there's so many more. There's Robinhood actually moving around. We're going to talk about Circle right now. Yeah, so out of everything, actually, I'm not very interested in this really at all. A bigger name that could actually move around a little bit today, Lululemon on day 3, I think, of earnings. Again, another move down there on Friday, really sort of kicked it on their earnings call. But I'm just wondering if you're looking for a little bit of a dip buy opportunity here into 260. Let's just see what winds up happening. But this could be, again, a good support level for something like a Lululemon here around 265. So we'll wait to see if that wants to hold again for this name. We did hold it pretty good there on Friday into the afternoon. And now today you're starting to go back upside against the market. So I really like that play. I actually like CRM as well. This is a name that I bought, again, just off earnings. We've been doing really well with our recent buys, man. Marvell, CRM. I mean, when the market's going up, it's a little easier, but there it goes. So there goes CRM as well. Huge day actually on Friday. I wasn't even paying attention to this one. 268 up, closing up $7. So the momentum back now in CRM is definitely something to look out for. We are ticking lower though today. So look for some bids around 272 here for Salesforce. So, some of these names that are just a little bit off earnings are a little more interesting to me than a Meta that's just flat on the day. So we'll still look at Meta, man. I mean, it's an interesting story. Palantir has one of the biggest moats around it in the business. So I'm not worried about Meta coming into that area. If anything, Meta could just buy out Palantir.
Well, they're not doing
no, I don't think even that will be allowed. That will for sure not be allowed.
No, the FTC.
Yeah. Not only are they controlling all your kids, but now they're going to control everything. Palantir and Meta. No, we're gonna wait.
The
for that.
regulators would literally all freak out.
Basically nobody can buy Palantir. Unless it's the U.S. government themselves.
Exactly.
I mean,
with the contracts they have, it's
too intertwined.
No one would ever allow
on that one. So, all right, man, it's circle time because they're, definitely the Hawks are circling that name right now. It's moving around, and the Hawks love it, but not as much as the Doves. This thing is an absolute rocket ship, up another 20%. Let's go find out the story.
Gained 168% on IPO day, and it continues today, guys. A high day, taking out 131, up almost 22% here. Just to give you some idea of what you should expect here, the lockout period for a Circle is 180 days from the IPO day, making it late Q4 of this year, the key time frame there. Despite the caution that some analysts have been voicing, you have Cathie Wood calling the IPO an amazing debut. Their thesis this is there that stable coins align with Circle's dominance in the USDC coin. Again, they are the issuer of USDC, which is a smaller stable coin than Tether, which has about 2/3 of the market.
Yeah, oddly enough, a little bit smaller than Tether. We're getting closer to the bell, so I'll make this quick. But it's worth noting here, Sharif, this IPO was so strong that even the president of the NYSE spoke about it. She said here that the IPO was a bellwether for the IPO market this year beyond just crypto listings. Circle here, nice uptrend here. Lower highs, lower lows. This is the 15-minute chart, Sharif. So this actually looks very impressive right now.
All right, guys, Circle.
I think with this, like it took a while to get going on Friday, but when it did, there was like two trades. There was the breakaway from VWAP, the dip into VWAP, or there's one parabolic move short. Like that parabolic move up, that was revertible, and then it bounced off the volume-weighted average price. We only have 1 minute to go here, and we haven't even looked at the imbalances. I'll let you do. But I just wanted to know, Bitcoin, big move. Upside, I'm looking for dips into some prior highs in here on IBIT. That'll be about 60, 70, and then 60, 20 levels here on IBIT. Big strength. We regain 105. Like those levels here on IBIT. We'll be playing some longs today on Bitcoin.
Yeah, the first position that I'll be in, I mean, Circle and CoreWeave, whatever. Don't short them. That's it. Just don't short them. We have to wait for it to break something, and we're going to have to wait for a 50-period moving average or something on that one. Here's what the imbalances look like. Archer, Nova, Joby, BBAI, QBTS. You see them right now. Pause it if you want to go see them again, because the market's about to open up right now. The bell is brought to you by BSGM. So there it is right there. Go find those guys out. Scan that QR code. You want to thank them. Crypto, stocks, futures. There it is. We are now open. Thank you so much, Andre. As we go, the U.S. markets are now open as we watch out for AMD trying to break through this 119.50 area. I think that's, oh, there it goes right now. Probably worth a little bit. I'm going to try it. We just tried to punch a little bit there. Punch a little bit more. Wow, there's nothing to do. I just marketed it up right now. This will probably come back. I'm long right now at 66s. So here goes a 120 break right now. It looks like imminent right here, Neil, on, I don't know, my friend and maybe yours soon. We both like AMD today. So we'll be into this one right now. It just fades off of 120 right there. We got in, but we only got in like a quarter of a unit. So I don't ever want to punch in too much, especially off the open. But here it goes, man. If we break 120, I think we can go on AMD. So I'm going to take that trade and see what winds up happening here on a 120 break for advanced micro devices. Notice we're calling it its proper name today
because it's up.
We want it to go up, and there it goes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, same thing, but also NVIDIA is breaking 144 to the upside. And Tesla has already, so their 120 just broke on AMD, so there it goes. It's continuing to go higher.
And there's the fade.
Yeah, it just got into the quarter level as well. So I want to continue to buy the dips on this as it looks incredibly strong. I was trying to say something else. Oh, yeah.
Oh, and NVIDIA, you were.
Tesla, 283.
Tesla, okay. All right, nice.
Tesla's absolutely tanking. That's at 283 bucks.
Oh.
So the whole pop and fade on Tesla, we'll throw that one out because it doesn't pop as usual. 270 is the next level of support if there's even going to be any support on Tesla. Falling like an absolute rock, the opposite of what the chips are doing right now.
That's too bad because we had AMD out there at 120.25 and it just never filled me there. I don't know if I was on the wrong gateway or not, but I don't think it got that high. Oh yeah, 120.24 is the high for AMD. So yeah, we punched it long. I think we got a good price. I only crossed up to 07. What did you get? What are you long at? Oh,
I didn't have the 120.
Oh, okay, break. You didn't have the 120 break. Okay, so I had the 120 break, but doesn't look great now as it's coming back in. As look at the futures, man, really taking a little dump right now. So yeah, we'll have to wait to see, but there it goes. And someone just bought it back up there a little bit. So we'll wait to see what's going on with AMD. We've got probably too many shares for this trade, considering it's not going. But hey, man, we're pretty happy with it right now as it's trying to go back up. So we're still where we are, man, 25s. And then we are also at, hold on, just getting my other orders ready to go, at 25 and then at 50s right now. And there goes Amazon. Amazon just falls into our lap a little bit. Again, I like this level, but I don't like what the Nasdaq's doing. So let's just breathe. There it goes, Neil.
There's
oh,
40.
hell yes. Oh, hell yeah. Right now, there we go, man. Daily goal right there. Met just alone on AMD, but we do have Amazon to worry about right now as that's falling through. We don't like that one. Go Amazon, go AMD. We need that 50 fill if we can get it. 120.50 on AMD to make it rain one more time here. Good move higher there on AMD. We just need Amazon to go. There goes AMD. Oh boy, Neil. I'm so glad that like I said, man, we probably had too many shares, but now we're pretty happy that we do because AMD right now is the moonshot of the day. Well, it's probably better ones, but there's 120.60s right now. We're long at 119.90 on a really good position for me. So nice move up. 2 times daily goal right now, as there goes Amazon to the upside as well. So we've got two of our top sticky note names, AMD and Amazon, both buys and both Rip City right now, man. Wow, what a morning. Oh my. What's up, Adara? Wow.
Here is NVTS. This one sharply to the upside. Navitas Semiconductor, of course, as evidenced by the name. This is a semiconductor play. Looks like it's moving higher in sympathy with a lot of these names. It does also have a 19% short float. Just so you guys know, for economic data, it's a pretty light day at 10 a.m. We do get the revision for wholesale inventories month for month, but nothing at 9:45. At 11 a.m., we'll also be getting here New York Fed inflation expectations. So, again, nothing super major today. Back to you.
Oh, big data, but
wow, we are now $1.50 in the money on AMD. And like I said, I have too many shares here, so we got to start getting it off. $1.50 right there, 70 cents on Amazon. And oh boy, man, we are having ourselves, wow, 4 times. Whatever, man. We got to change the daily goal. When you're at 4 times already and it's 9:35. There we go, man. Nice move up there for Amazon. Nice moves up there for AMD, man. The traders are sitting right here, right now. So let's get ready to rock and roll. It's a good day so far.
It's a good day so far for sure, but 122.70 is going to be the target out on AMD. 145 is also incoming on NVIDIA. Good news for anybody in Tesla. I think it made a pretty solid bottom in here. It looks like we're not going to get to that 270 at this rate, but a nice little bottom being made in Tesla. Watch out, the Nasdaq just went red. However, so we are headed in the other direction. And just to cover a bunch of other things, Palantir down 2% and just tanked. Well, tanked is the wrong word, but just tried to bounce off 125. So there is some weakness starting to come in to a few names in here. We wanted Tesla to the south side. I'm going to sneeze in a second.
Oh, no.
But I'm not going to chase this. If this is a V-shaped recovery early, we'll let it get back in to the tops. Oh, the other thing that happened, IonQ absolutely taking it on the chin. Still up 3%, but they're selling it off heavily. It's coming right into the prior highs on Friday. So that's the first level. We usually look for a bounce. When it fills in the gap, it's filling it the entire way here on IonQ. We forgot about Robinhood, too.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, that's the one thing that for me, it's like, again, you know, like you can always look at multiple names, right? There's always going to be so many things, but this is why I feel like it's just so important that you have your playbook, and when things come in, you take them and then you deal with it after. And on that spot right here comes Archer, right? We thought that this did have a play, but it's not playing right now. It's going to the downside. So we take one little load there on ACHR and then trying to figure out what's going on. But more outs on Amazon right there, as we're just taking 50 cents. We did clean up, obviously. We talked about how we could not believe what AMD was doing there. So we're able to get a whole bunch out here, man, north of 121. So if it still wants to go, fine. But this market is bleeding and is literally throwing up all over itself. We only have half a unit here on ACHR, but it is starting, ACHR. Yeah, sorry, it's on the New York, not Nasdaq. Right there, nice move down. Yeah, not good, man. So if we get too much lower than where we are right now, then we're gonna drop this. I don't want to be sitting in here and letting like the other trades sort of, you know, take way here. 1020 break. If we break 1020 on ACHR, we're going to be out of that. So we'll average in just small right here. If we can get a 43 area, we'll buy out there. I'll buy some 45s. Wait for a little bit lower on Archer, but that's going to be my spot. So if that comes in, then fine. But 1020 break, and we're out of ACHR. So yeah, so far so good there. AMD's trying to go, and yeah, we'll go 2 for 2 with Amazon, which is near its highs. Just since that dump, so hopefully it can get upside a little bit. We have cleaned out a little bit here. Let's get out one more piece on this name. We're in Archer, Amazon, and AMD. So we just need another A name. Maybe we have to look at Apple.
Well, I'm not looking.
You know, that's how I trade alphabets, you know.
Until the event happens.
Yeah.
Right, I muted myself to sneeze. Sorry, everybody.
Good job.
But I'm not looking at Apple until the event starts. But I did look at IonQ trying to bounce off support. It took out 39.5, got on the way back up. It tried to break 40. I was looking for a 40 break to see if we can go higher. It did go about like 20 cents in the money, but I was looking for a little bit more than that. IonQ still headed to the downside and absolutely flushing. The other thing that we were looking at pretty heavily, well, kind of hoping for more action here in Bitcoin. As you can see, IBIT has literally not moved yet, so I'm just trying to be patient with it. I like the longs here, but I wanted to make the first move. Like either we're holding VWAP and breaking some fresh highs, or we're waiting for it to test, pre-market lows, maybe the overnight highs, something along those lines. Just got to be patient with IBIT. I like the strength, but we're not really seeing anything too crazy. Robinhood. Yeah, okay, so Robinhood didn't get into the index and absolutely tanked. You're down 8% in Robinhood.
Oh.
Robinhood goes SSR. This is a play. It should be short, but forget about it.
Robinhood.
If Robinhood goes SSR down 10%, I'm going to look for a bounce play on this stock today. I think it's getting a little bit overdone just because it didn't get added to the index on Friday. Adara?
Add here another index play here is AppLovin APP. This one has been floated around as a potential S&P 500 addition, going back at least the last 3 quarters, but neither AppLovin or Robinhood got added. And in case you guys missed it, they actually didn't announce any changes to the index. So it's not even like something else got added. These two were just shunted here, I guess, alongside any other potential plays. So S&P 500 not being rebalanced, Robinhood, Apple, both names to watch. Or sorry, Robinhood, AppLovin, both names to watch with that in mind. Back to you.
I mean, it's just a party. There goes Amazon right now. I mean, this is the thing. I don't know. I mean, obviously, Obi and Neil had their notes on Friday, but this sticky note right there for me, there's Amazon long at 213. We have 213 flats right now. We have 213.03s. It's at 214.20. So there it is, man. We'll take another piece out there on Amazon as we get lighter and lighter, waiting out to see where that goes. And what's going is down right now is AMD. So we give up some from the loss from the highs here because we still have a third of this trade. Look at this name, absolutely bleeding right now like crazy, coming down in is AMD. I'll try some more here at 60s, but we're gonna have to drop this before we turn like a gray trade into a red, well, won't be a red trade, but into here right now. What about just a break of 119 in order to get out of this one? But yeah, I don't know. Like
meanwhile, Tesla's pumping.
Yeah, that's weird. So maybe the money is switching spots here. But, we've got a big one, though. Yeah. We've got a real big one with Amazon. That's starting to go higher. We just ooh, wow, and then it comes right back in a little bit. We just touch out there at 214.50. So, yeah, man, Tesla's popping. Are you in that one yet, or what's going on?
No, I'm not shorting it down here, I don't think. That's not the play. 293 was the level I wanted. It's screaming into at least 290, I think. We'll get to the pre-market highs here before you engage in this stock. Like the market's at the low or
AMD.
Off of its lows, let's just say, barely off of its lows, and you're breaking VWAP and you have a V-shaped recovery. So let's be patient. I was looking only short, not long this name. So I think you get a couple more dollars before I jump in to that bad boy. The good news for AMD, and I'll quickly show the NVIDIA chart this way because I want to make sure we're AMD because that's where we're trading. NVIDIA just bounced 143 off the prior highs, right? So that move, I think, is what's causing this little or helping, I should say, not causing, helping this little VWAP bounce here on AMD, but it needs to hold above 120. So far still good, breaking out that 119.5 zone, but with NVIDIA starting to go, this could help it. You want to see these two go in concert. NVIDIA is usually going to be the tail that wags the dog, certainly. IBIT, still not doing too much over there on IBIT, and IonQ is still trying to find its bottom. It's Robinhood that kind of, I mean, if you're short, it's already made the bounce. Dang it didn't get to 10% down, but Robinhood has just done it. There's your bounce back into VWAP. Bottoming tail candle on the 3-minute, but that's not a clean entry on the 3. I think you had to have it on a 1-minute chart. There's your VWAP recovery. That is so clean on Robinhood.
Yeah, right. Look, I love some Robinhood over there. All right, so we're starting to make some money now again on Archer right now. We're gonna try to go 3 for 3 right now. There's our bid on that name. Now let's see if we get out something at 72. We're long now at 49s. I mean, we did exactly what we thought we would do here on Archer, and that was let it. Well, I was hoping that my first fill we'd go back up to the upside there, but we only had half a unit. Now we have about 1 unit now on ACHR. So maybe this one blasts. We gave you the level of 1020. Down there on Archer. The bottom was 1025. So pretty lucky to be able to experience that right now and then see if we can get a move on right now as I'm going to get some more out there at 64. So that was a pretty good move there. My best out's in the 70s right now. So it's 20 cents on Archer. It's $1.50 right now. You want to keep going on this one, man. It's a face slapper right now on Amazon as this is just an absolute ripper. Loving this in the long term. Loving this is there as well. We got some crazy likes this morning? What are you guys talking about? Let's get this like party going right now. I don't even know myself here. I got to like that. Oh my God, I got to refresh this to see what our likes are actually at right now. hit the play button, my guy. There it is right now, 828. Now we got to get more than that. Over 11,000 of you watching right now. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and let's get going on this one. As here we go right now, man. It's Apple, and we love all of these names coming in today. We have AMD, we've got Archer. Archer right now, 17 cents. Amazon's doing its own damn thing right now as well. But let's go Advanced Micro Devices. By far the biggest name here today, and I just should have got them all out up at that upside at 121. But we'll wait, man. We're coming into the 50-period moving average right now. It's not looking healthy to me, but who knows if this market bounces, which it actually has, and AMD has not, which is what's bothering me right there. But hey, man, still pretty good. We were at much more than we were right now, but AMD definitely taking some money out of my pocket right now.
And watch out for Tesla making its curl. I just put my offer in thinking it was about to break out 291, and I wanted that 93, which we had in the note. But already back through 290, the sellers are starting to emerge here on Tesla. I'm not going to chase it to the downside. Maybe we'll get one more upward push that we're able to fade off of. AMD is now trying to hold on to the original pre-market break of 119, and we're still looking for our first green candle on the 3-minute on the way back in here. So this is looking like it needs to hold here. If you can't hold this 119, you pretty much are waiting for 117.5, and that would have to be two separate trades. We'll get to some of the other names. I know there's some small cappers that everyone's looking at in here, but my eyeballs are on Tesla, because if we're looking to fade Tesla at 293, this is going to get there pretty quick. Tesla can move $3-4 in a blink of an eye. So one break of the high, and then I'm going to look to engage in some TSLA. Still some strength in Bitcoin, but not enough of a move to get me in just yet. My eyeballs are going to be on Tesla for a bit of a reversion. And when Tesla's strong, you've got to really snipe if you're going to try and short it.
All right, guys, let's go. All right, so we have AMD now right here. We got a great fill there. I mean, we just talked about buying the 50 pair. Okay, go. Oh my, Neil. Oh my, here we go. Let's fire off that hot dog cannon right now again for us, as we are now $2 in the money right now on this name. And like I said, we're back, baby. Love taking some time off, but love being back here with you guys as well. What a morning it's been here so far, that is for sure. Amazon just ripped and came right back in a little bit there. So Rocket Lab getting a pop. There goes Archer, Neil. Oh boy, we're showing what we're worth over here right now. Big cap names, small cap names, rippers, everything going upside, right? Or just not going upside, but trading everything right now. As there it goes, another one is Archer. Boom, boom, nice move there as that came back in. And again, all I'm doing is just trading the damn plan right there. AMD long, done. Archer long, done. Amazon long, done. Tesla 295 short. We could have a look, but there goes Archer right now. Archer Aviation. Let's go. If we can get that 1080 level right now, I'm sitting at 1087. Amazon busting out right now. Let's see if we got that bottom on AMD. How sweet would that be if we could pick that up as well? But here we go, man. We're back to some of our highs right now as there goes Advanced Micro Devices. Man, we're on one more time here today. And thank you so much for being here with us. This has been such a great run these last couple weeks, that's for sure. Seems like we can't miss, but there it goes right now. Archer, nice move higher here as I trade it basically for the first time. Archer Aviation, nice move higher back in 1030 and change. So yeah, man, so far so good. I'll look at Tesla, but right now, man, I'm dealing with some big positions over on this side, so we're just going to relax. 55 cents in the money. There's another one for us on AMD as we continue to climb higher here.
Yeah, same dip buy over in AMD. The only new thing is took the shot on the over-under at 290 on Tesla, but now it's breaking back out here, looking like it wants to get to that 293. It was a bit of a trend break. I won't redraw the trend line, but trend break into the prior bar high. Now I'm waiting for 293, but you're also going to want to take a shot looking at these future, because the future, the Nasdaq, I should say, the Nasdaq bouncing off VWAP while the ES is holding underneath. And for everyone out there, I want you guys to check out Prop XP. Because if you want a prop firm as a trader that's transparent, fair, and actually wants you to succeed, then listen up. Prop XP gives you 1 to 200 leverage, one of the highest out there, and no high watermark. Fast payouts, real support, and a team that's on your side. That's why they're rated 4.6 on Trustpilot and climbing. Use code TraderTV to get 50% off your challenge right now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description box and start trading smarter with Prop XP. Pass the challenge, get funded. Shout out to them and appreciate them for sponsoring this opening segment there. Let's see if we can't hold the 120. We're going to go to Darren a quick little second. This 120, this is where it tried to bounce initially on the first dip buy at VWAP, wasn't able to hold on to the 120 level. I think if we lose 120 now, you're waiting for the 119. So that dollar range turns into a bit of a scalp trade for sure. So AMD still looking pretty good. And CoreWeave just went absolutely parabolic. If it does something stupid, I'm going to have low case just in case.
Go.
This is going to be CLF. Keep an eye on some of these steel and aluminum names. Apparently, the U.S. has posted its notice of derivative and steel tariffs that are subject to tariffs. Now, also keep an eye here on CCJ, Cameco Corp. This one, really nice push to the upside. CCJ apparently is saying that they expect a $170 million increase, more or less, in their equity share of Westinghouse Electric. As of here, Q2 2025. Also worth noting here, apparently they're expecting this to increase their EBITDA as well. So CCJ, great push to the upside. This one is at day's highs. Back to you.
We're waiting. I guess I can do like a little rocket emoji here, although this aviation name just keeps on going higher. We do know Rocket Lab also going higher as well, but this is ACHR as, we were really able to pick this one up again. So far so good here. Working out for us on Archer Innovation as it just keeps on climbing. And I'm just going to sit here. We did have a little bit of a dump down there on Amazon, not really. We got out there. Right now, I'm holding about 20% left. Actually, I'll have to double check how much we have left of Amazon, but we are getting lighter and lighter in all of these positions. And I'm just going to hold on, I think, to AMD. We just cleared out a whole bunch right there again on the upside, right? And so a bunch of outs right there. So let's just see what winds up happening now with AMD as it's coming. This is why I got to take, I have to take outs, right? Like when you're coming back in like that and you see these sort of reactions, you get up to 120 off of a nice reload right there. You take that dollar every time. So there it goes, man. Dollar off the bottom. Nice move to the high side. Now let's just see if we continue to go, man. 119.1. Here comes 120 again. And guess what? I'm going to take another piece out right here if we can at 90s on that name. And oh boy, Neil, this might be the trade of the day right there because there goes Archer right now. Just talking about these low flow runners, man. I don't want to steal Sharif's job, but there it goes. Nice move up there through $11 goes Archer Innovation right now, boom, to that upside. So whatever you're looking at, if you're looking at this, you've got it right now. And we gave you that bottom. At least it didn't break the bottom. I mean, that's happened to us many times. There goes Rocket Lab as well, blasting upside. I mean, I hope you guys are having a real good time, man, and hit the like, hit the subscribe right now. I wasn't short Tesla yet. Getting into that level, though, we could be short. Neil took a shot at that. We'll see what winds up happening right now with Tesla. And a good out on Archer, man. It's coming back in a little bit. So we only have about 25% left right now. We sat there at 11. We were able to get that. Sat there at 1090. There it goes again. Right back into VWAP. I think this is a good opportunity to exit a little bit more. We'll sit there at 83, see if we can get some out. But oh boy, there goes AMD one more time, guys. It's been a big day. We're not at our highest spot because that was right here on the day. But let's see if AMD can make us a little bit of money and get back there to the upside.
Yeah, I cleared out 120 on AMD, but see if we get back down underneath the volume weighted average price, but it looks like it just bounced off 119.60. So that's the half that we're playing the breakout into. So as long as it's over that, I should be back into the long. It just made one close over VWAP. Yeah, we'll get back in over VWAP here because I like the 119.5. Tesla did get to 293. So this is the first test of 293. It didn't quite break the trend there and then immediately blew out the top. So there wasn't any kind of a trend break or any setup that I'm going to get to the short on at 293. Doesn't look like it wants to check up even at all. You can draw a steep trend line. Maybe we get to 295 and break it. But at this point, where is my tool? There we go. Redraw it there. Like now it's trying to break at that 293. This is the first time since our last entry at 90. It looks like it wants to wick that 293. I'm on the bid, trying to get back into AMD. Bitcoin, thankfully, we haven't taken a shot at it, just slowly gliding to the downside. I'm willing to be patient with this. I think the strength is going to pick up in Bitcoin. Hasn't gotten to the pre-market low, hasn't even tried to fill in the gap yet. But that's a big yet. I think it's about to take out these lows as we speak, and then we'll try to get that V-shaped recovery on IBIT. Wanted to be near the top, but it's not really doing much.
I'm going to ask Randy for a reload.
Right, here comes Tesla.
Reload if possible. Well, whatever. I'll just tell Randy here. All right. Yeah, so what, Tesla's coming back into the downside? I mean, the market right now is trying to go. We just got another piece out right there at 120.25 for AMD. And like I said, I'm just going to do this. Like, if every time we can get a quarters, now I'm waiting at 120.50. Hopefully that can come in. Amazon is making a little bit of a move back up. I'm going to let that Archer Aviation just kind of hang out right now. What happened over there?
Oh, just the wick on stuff. Tesla.
Oh, okay. Where is Tesla now? We wanted 295. Okay, so it did get to 295 almost. All right, 293.50 there. Was that what you were talking about?
Well, it was just a kind of a violent breakdown.
Okay.
Just now on Tesla. That's obviously it's going to break trend a little bit here. I'm not going to redraw the trend line because I just lost it. Might have just missed our shot. I'm not going to chase all the way down at 91. We'll see if it can't calm down and give an entry closer to like 92.5, 93 for the pullback into the volume weighted average price. There's plenty of room to VWAP here as starting to get a little heavy here on Tesla. Adara?
Here is OUST. If you're looking for a smaller cap runner here, this is about 10% short float. Ouster. So it's odd. I'm not really seeing any brand new announcements on this, but some people are heavily posting here on X. These are accounts that are watched by traders just about this previously indicated or speculated partnership between Ouster and Google Maps. So some ongoing Google Maps and Ouster speculation pushing OUST to the upside. Back to you.
Boy, let's go, man. Thank you, Adara, for that one. I was just like, oh my gosh, with a little bit different words. But there goes AMD right now, 120.50. Man, that was a sick reload down there, man, like on that 50-period moving average. And RKLB is really helping our Archer Aviation continue to go higher right now as Rocket Lab with a much bigger float, a short float than Archer. So there goes RKLB. Wow, 31.50. Come on, man, just sing the good words of Archer right now. We can get that back up there to the upside. All right, man, we are really now cruising right now. AMD is by far the biggest one here for me today. So we're really happy with what we've been seeing here on this name as we continue to go higher here on AMD. It's picture perfect for me, man. We got that, then we got the breakthrough 120, then we went and absolutely nailed that. Then it came back, we reloaded VWAP. That was sketchy for sure. And then right into there again, coming back into play for us at the 50-period moving average. And the rest, as we say, is history. And that continues to go. So we're $1.50 in the money on AMD. We're $1.20 in the money on Amazon. And we're waiting for this 11 break right now on Archer. So, hey, man, over here, it is a trifecta. Joe's a gambler over there. Horses, I know, you're a trifecta. Yeah, a trifecta of winners right there on the note today. AMD, Archer, and Amazon. We just got to go over. Neil's been in Tesla. I have to look at that. And the other name that we have written on here is Apple, which we wanted to look at, but we had both sort of talked about.
Not until after the.
Yeah, I know, I was fine. I mean, 204 is what I wrote down. 204 is the bottom of the day. We could have had that, but we do not. That's Apple right there. But to Neil's point, might as well at this point just wait. I mean, Apple should be a dollar club, but we'll take them everywhere else and just hope that we can get a little bit better as we move forward. But there goes Apple cooking right now, Tim cooking, I guess. But there's AMD. I'm going to take one more piece out as we get into the 20s and 30s again. So there we go, man. I have no more offers on AMD until we get to 121.
Yeah, AMD looking super strong. That's why I was on that list. And Tesla looking strong too. So don't necessarily want to get too far out of the pocket with it. It's now under the 293, consolidating under. It's showing a lot of strength off 291, so the buyers are pretty much in control. What I want to see is like sellers win on a 292 break. So break 292 maybe, get back in here, and then sellers try to come back in for a VWAP fade. Bitcoin is absolutely breaking down off the pre-market lows, so the reversion in IBIT is going to come into play pretty soon. Like, this is the 3-minute chart, but you just broke the lows, and if you get a bottoming tail at the pre-market low, I'm looking for that break of trend to come in here for IBIT for my first shot at Bitcoin. Big over the weekend moves to regain 105, and you're still holding 107. So Bitcoin with its first trend break and bottoming tail coming in now. So I'm just gonna pop into this if we can on IBIT for the first time today. Haven't really taken any trades in Bitcoin, but you'll see me in now. That's on a trend break. But see what I wanted to see on Tesla? I didn't want to get too far away. I wanted to break 292, fail the 292 break, and come back in. It just shoots higher. Buyers very much in control. That's why I'm not taking another shot at the Tesla short, at least not yet. There's plenty of time to be able to get into it, but not right now. We'll go over to IBIT and play this trend break to the upside. VWAP sits 61. That's the first take that we'll get out.
Okay. Yeah. Look, we're back near the highs of the day for ourselves. So we're pretty happy, obviously, so far with what's been happening. I just took another piece out here at 120.50. I know I am waiting for a little bit more. What else do you guys want to look at, man? I'm just looking at a lot of the same names.
And there's other chip
okay,
names.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
CoreWeave.
CoreWeave. Okay, CoreWeave's a good name. We definitely like some CoreWeave. But there's SMR right now. They dipped down into $33. We could watch out. What's that? Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't even look at Circle or anything like that. Whoa. Okay, Circle down, man. I mean, I don't know what, to be honest with you, I don't really know what I expected with this name. I mean, still up 14%, still a great day for Circle, obviously, but well off of that 138. I did not pay for shorts, but I don't even know if I want to go short. It has broken back through. You could watch out for this 120 level to maybe break here, but technically very difficult. I mean, last week we had, a big sort of, we were a little horned up there for CoreWeave short, and that just didn't really, pan out. It panned out for us. We did fine on it. We wound up down that one day, but we did catch it on the back at least. And the following day it tanked again. But all right, so U.S. wholesale inventory is coming out in 1 minute. I'm going to take advantage again of this huge move up on AMD. We are now $1.70 right now in the money as we make sure that everybody can stay hydrated with Hydration Nation right there again. So we're still going to wait for that 121, but I just did take another piece out right there, hoping that we do have a nice move forward. And I think we're about to experience that hopefully right now as we get that number right now in 30 seconds. So it's happening now with Adara. She'll go over a few other names and get that numbers to you right now. Let's hope it's a little bullish as we see about getting higher. I will look at Joby Shane, but when we get back from Adara.
This number here, it's a revision. Wholesale inventories month over month. We're also going to get wholesale sales month over month here. For wholesale inventories, we're expecting 0%, in line with the previous print of 0%. Wholesale sales month over month, 0.2% versus 0.6% expected. We just got that inventories print. So wholesale inventories month over month revision, positive 0.2% versus the forecast of 0% in the previous print of 0%. Wholesale sales month over month actually lower than expected here. So 0.1% versus 0.2% expected, and the previous print of 0.6%. So wholesale inventories above expectations, wholesale sales below expectations. Nasdaq here, if you need to kind of chop a little bit with these higher lows, this little push here to the upside. Here's Apple, this one in watch with its WWDC, Worldwide Developers Conference. This kicks off at 1 p.m. Eastern. I will be delivering that news from that keynote for you guys right at 1 p.m. as we get information. Here's Robinhood. Hood and AppLovin both on watch today. Both of these names were favored as potential additions to the S&P 500 index, except they actually didn't announce any changes to the index for this quarter. So Hood and AppLovin both recovering pretty nicely, but down to the day as investors get their hopes dashed that these names will be at the index at some point soon. Back to you.
Hope's not, well, temporarily hope's dashed. I think Robinhood's going in, and this is an opportunity maybe in the disappointment to buy some dips. Took our second shot in Tesla. Maybe it's going to be like Friday, where you take 2 early shots in the morning, and then the afternoon was the best trade. We'll see what happens. It's still well, as long as you're underneath where we sold it on Friday, traded it, I should say. I didn't sell any personal shares on it at that 300 level. I said I might take a second leg out. I ended up not doing it on Friday. But if we do get back in here, I think 300 makes a heck of a lot of sense. Also that 290, 280, 298, 299, where it had that second salvo under VWAP, but you're still holding 93. So every time it breaks a trend, I'm looking for that trend break. Oh yeah, Bitcoin's trying to get back into VWAP, so IBIT, we got the curl. It just tagged like 61 change and starting to stall out here a little bit at the volume weighted average price. I'm looking for it to hold above VWAP and start buying some higher lows on Bitcoin on the way to what I think can be another test of the 108 level, which will mean pre-market highs for sure here on IBIT. So first long we had in IBIT starting to head to the upside. TRL verse in the chat. I don't know why Traeger is up 40% today, or did not know that Traeger was up. Certainly we'll have a look at that one a little bit later. But the stock I wanted to go to was, as you mentioned, Circle down on the day. Circle had a lot of trouble getting going on Friday, and then all of a sudden, at about 11 o'clock, it went ham. So at some point this morning, if it does like a break of like a downtrend or a consolidation like this, I'm going to look for a long opportunity here in Circle, but just not yet. It did the same thing where it just couldn't get off going, and then all of a sudden you had like a $10 move. So Circle's fully capable of doing it again.
Hey guys, like like Neil was mentioning, you take a lot of shots at different stocks, and you just wait to see when you can get that back in. And we don't show our, I saw some people talking, we don't show our P&Ls on here, but you can always ask us what kind of a day we're having, or if we're green or red on names or something like that, because sometimes it is tough when you're sitting there watching to figure out what's going on. Like this Amazon trade, like unless you have these prices, it really hasn't been a long today. It's coming right back in. Like the future's now above VWAP, above the 50-period moving average, and Amazon is really starting to get clocked out a little bit. So I'm going to take out another piece right here at 80 just because of where it is, and then we'll hold the rest. But I'm not going to get any more on this name, and we're going to stop out if it breaks below where we're in. So 213 right now is a definite out for me over there. And then as we were saying there, I'll look at Tesla again, guys, because honestly, the day that I'm having right now, it's not. Like for me to take shots at stock, I have to be exact pretty much, or else have a really tight stop. So I'm going to wait for all that, because I just get carried away sometimes and put on, like different units on different names. And for right now, if I don't have the right read on something, I might as well stay away. We're really huge right now on the day, and I don't want to lose on something, because right now Tesla was down 3% or so at its lows. It might even be down more than that. And for it to battle right back up like this against the market, for me, it's a definite hard stay away for right now. Although it is on the note here at 295, so there's no doubt about that. But this is what the note is, man. It's an idea. I write the note 2 hours ago, and things change, right? And so we take the early trades. We absolutely destroyed it. We're 3 for 3 here today, all big, and just going to sit on that. All 3 positions we have are a dollar in the money, right? And we're just waiting for Archer to get even higher than that right now. We just touched out for a dollar club on Archer Innovation. So we got $1. We had 10% in the money on this name. So we're $1 on an $11 name. We're $2 right now in the money on AMD, and Amazon is a dollar club as well, which already had gone $2. So yeah, man, we're just going to sit there and relax and watch out for some of these plays. We did note that IonQ was another possibility here for us today, as that name, had its nice moves up early, faded back out late. So IonQ right now having a little bit of a problem going through those levels. A break of 41 actually looks pretty good here on IONQ. So that would be a good break level there as well. With Bitcoin kind of not, I know Neil's been sort of looking at it. I did think about Coinbase. Again, as they're moving around all the time when crypto starts to go, but Coinbase is actually going the other way. Thank you so much, Randy, as he's here right now as well. Randy, Tesla was down and not anymore. Well, it's around flat right now. Oh my God, that 295, we wrote down, Randy. I didn't take it, and I was just talking about not taking it. But we wrote down on the sticky note 295 right there for a Tesla trade. And everyone in the chat was like, are you taking this, my guy? And I was like, no, it's not moving properly. But there it is right there. Tesla 295 short. That would be in the club. But like I said, man, judge us for the stocks we trade, not what we talk about. But there it is, man. I hope you guys have that name. There it is, man. A beautiful pullback off of that 295. Oh boy, Randy, that would have been something else to have that, but we do not. So there goes Amazon and AMD. But that Tesla, what a good call there at 295. Wish we had that, but we do not. Ifs and buts.
Candy and nuts. I mean, that's the thing. Like, 93 actually held as well the first time through, but you want to see it continue, and it's right now continuing to the upside on Tesla. There's Tesla. Like 2 red candles on the day. One at 93, one at 95 on a 3-minute basis anyways. If you're looking at a higher time frame, it's all green. Circle's still trying to break this trend. It hasn't. Until it makes a fresh low, it's still in the pocket of doing what it was doing on Friday, where you can break the trend or consolidate and get one shot at a big-time candle to the upside. IBIT, on the other hand, hey, just snagged almost to that VWAP. We got the trend break, but no continuation just yet. So take another leg out when it consolidates and maybe wait for another reload at the low. So just trying to be a little bit patient here. I love the pattern. I mean, you basically held, look at last week, you had a couple of peaks, but if you look at that peak here, like 60, 70, we just held on to that like a dime, I think we can do more than just this range here. I think we can break through 61.3 and have a chance to get up into 62 and test that 108 level. So let's try to be constructive. It's the first up move. So we'll see if we can't get a dip buy at that same price. Circle, Puck, Maple, I'm not looking for, like, I'm not just sitting on the bid of Circle. Like, if it breaks the low, I don't have a dip buy level that I'm thinking about. I'm just wanting it to break this trend distinctly, and almost certainly it's going to be something on the 15-minute, because the way it's trading right now, it's not setting up all that cleanly on a 3. But if we get some kind of a trend reversal on a 15-minute, then I want to be long in Circle. Like, when it did it on Friday, you could have had, like, right in here, it was like 110 clean to 125. So I want something like that on Circle, and it's not there yet. But you can be patient with it. You need one shot at this stock, as proven on Friday. All you had to have was that one short at 116, 117. We'll try to do the same thing again here, but you got to wait.
Yeah, you're welcome, Trade Forever. You're welcome, Juan Padilla, Sean James, everybody out there. That was all about that Tesla trade. You guys pointed it out to me. I pointed it out to all of you before as well, 295. And there it is, man. It's a $3 winner. So if you guys have that one, man, a big congratulations to everybody out there, that Sticky Note Nation, man. My hats are off to you, because if you guys have that trade, that Travolta's kind of looking at me right now saying, dude, that's your trade. You should have this. But we talked about it, and I just thought it was kind of going oppo of the market there for a minute and didn't really trust it. It might not be great after all. I would definitely be, look, if you're in it, we can talk about ifs again, but if you're in it, that 292 just held pretty good. We held right there 5-10 minutes ago. We held again right now. So I'd be exiting. Take the $2 if it breaks 293. Like, that could be that, and maybe you can reload again right there to the upside on Tesla if it does come through. I'm hearing something in my ear about aluminum and Canada and all that kind of stuff. So maybe there is something going on. But Neil, this doesn't, today, what's been happening today, with some of these calls has just been crazy. This Amazon, like, there goes Amazon right now. It's like things are just working out for us, for me, for us right now. And it's just kind of like, let's just keep that momentum going. And that's why I kind of stayed away a little bit there from Tesla, because now we're $1.50 in the money here, $2 here. And Archer did have a little bit of a problem there. And you guys talked about, look at Archer as opposed to Rocket Lab. And that was a great point by those in the chat, because Rocket Lab is breaking higher right now. And I can see anyways that this Archer is not. And
it looks like Rocket Lab trapped more shorts, maybe.
That's exactly what I was going to go over and check out, because we know that Archer was 16 or 17%.
I think it's, you maybe double check, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's 18, so it's very similar. So it's not a short story at all, and the float is quite large, I believe, on RKLB as well. So yeah, definitely some more work needs to be done, because that is just blasting there. I just wait. Let's just be patient and wait our turn, man. And I think we can do that, right? We can wait our turn on Archer. Archer right now 61 cents in the money, and we already cleared it out. We only have now, wow, way under. We have about 10% left. No, a little more than that. About 15 or 20% left on ACHR. But oh boy, man, I had a lot of FOMO not being in here on Friday, but we've more than made up for it right here with some of the trading today. There's AMD, man, 121. That's $2. Let's just let this continue to go. Yeah, Joby as well, man. We're really on something. And then, so we should have had that Tesla short at 2. So far, if we review this, the only thing we missed was Tesla short 295, and then we missed Apple, which we wrote down at 204. So that right now, I mean, that came in perfectly right off the open. Instead of looking at Apple, I looked at AMD, and I'm glad we did, but I think I gave up a lot of money here as well on Apple. So that's just part of trading, right? Trader's dilemma. You're always going to give something up to take advantage of something else. We're having a monster day right now. I'm actually, just to give you guys an idea, I'm at 3 times like sort of the goal that I set for myself. So I'm just going to keep that in the pocket right now. Rivian apparently is ripping or something right now. So Rivian calls moving around here as well. So I don't know. We'll wait. Not ripping at all. I had a nice move early. All right. I think if there's more steel and aluminum and tariff talk and all that kind of stuff, I think it's good for all the automotives, even though Rivians are built stateside there in the United States. So, watch out for that move.
It's still, I mean, that's the thing.
We just got filled on something.
You still have to get the parts.
Oh, AMD.
Right? You still need the materials and the parts, and that's going to be affected. So built in the U.S. doesn't tell you the entire story there for Rivian. We'll get to Corey in one quick little second here. Circle's threatening to finally break out. On the 15-minute, it's still not really looking all that great, but it's finally looking like it wants to break out of this bottom trend here. So I need to see it close above the 125. Bitcoin's taking VWAP, and now I'll get to CoreWeave. CoreWeave just did another crazy 158. CoreWeave's back up to. So 165 is the all-time high on CoreWeave. I did pay for locates. I just feel like it's going to get to the all-time high, and I'm not sure this is the one that you want short right now. The chips are strong as a group. That's going to weigh in. If I was shorting it, I'd probably be shorting this move. But when you see this pattern off of VWAP, maybe just buy the dip off VWAP or the prior highs. Well, let's go the other direction on CoreWeave because this is an absolute rocket ship. Didn't expect it to be so strong. 154 and VWAP are going to be the plays. IBIT seems like it just tagged the volume weighted average price. I didn't get the dip reload at our entry. Didn't quite get that far. So I'm looking for a place to add above the volume weighted average price, or maybe I can get something. I'll sneak something in, maybe in the like the 95 region off of this higher low. Just want to be able to add to it on the way up to the pre-market high. I'm pretty sure we're going to get there, but I want more in IBIT before we get to that top. The other thing you got to pay attention to is as these chips go higher, NVIDIA is lagging right now.
NVIDIA.
So like Micron's pretty strong, Core's going nuts, AMD's really strong. Someone even said in the chat that Intel was looking good. Not as much for NVIDIA. So I'm gonna watch to see if I can find something along like a flat bottom break or maybe some kind of a quick scalp trade if the market does fail those highs and NVIDIA continues to lag. For now, we're going to work with the longs, but that's just something to keep in the back of mind. Not really sure why it's lagging so much. So we're going to try to add to IBIT. Hopefully, money fills under VWAP and not necessarily over. I think 61.35 is about that high. In the pre-market, that's where I'll get out, but we're still going to be buying dips.
All right, so here's 213 down here on Amazon. And again, this is something that we had written down on the sticky note. So we're pretty happy with the way that's performing. We'll put that out over there on Twitter as well. So definitely something to look out for there. AMD just broke 121. This is my largest position still on board right now is AMD. All right, let's find out what's going on with Palantir quickly here, just to see another name. Wasn't doing, so it does its Palantir patented move right there off the open where it flushes all the way down. And then Kathy and everybody else, probably Warren Buffett if he was still around. No, probably not. But there it is, man. A nice move to the upside right now and continuously moving into its new highs. And then just real quickly there for Amazon. Amazon, you want to talk about making highs. Right now it looks like AMZN is one of them as well going to the upside. There it is, man. There's a flash sale right now. So get ready for that one. Traders, are you ready to fully optimize the computer for use on everyday trading? Well, Easy Trading Computers and Trader TV have teamed up to bring you an exclusive sale on the world's most powerful AI-ready computers for trading. So definitely go over there and check them out. This limited time desktop and laptop sale includes exclusive promos, upgrades, bonus gear, and 0% financing. And it's only for you here at Trader TV. Scan the QR code to enter your email and unlock access now before it's gone. This exclusive sale ends June the 12th at 5 p.m. Well, June the 12th. Okay, a couple days at 5 p.m. Scan that QR code. Look, just go find out what it's all about, right? That's the one thing you can do for sure if you are looking for one of those advanced computers.
Information is
yeah, exactly. Go find. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, the flash sale, man, big deal right there. 0% financing, bonus gear, and upgrades. And we had that gentleman from Easy Trading Computers on last week. And Easy Trading Computers, we want to thank them. But right now, it is $2.50 in the money, and that's just off of a reload right there on AMD. My largest position continues to grow here into the account, and it's the P&L wise, anyways. And there it is. It's a nice move there for AMD right back into its day's high. And we just take that out right now, 121.40. Oh boy, Neil, big one right now. I'm now back and above where I was at like 935. So far so good there with Advanced Micro Devices.
Yeah, so far so good with AMD, but not so much for Circles. It fails. You just need one shot with this thing, but it again fails to break out any kind of a higher low here. So it's made a double bottom, but it can't seem to take out like its first resistance spot at about 127. Like I said, we can be patient with it, but it's kind of ridiculous that you look left right? You're looking at Circle to go, and it ends up being CoreWeave. And they're not the same thing, I get it, but they're the two most recent big-time IPOs. CoreWeave is now pulling back. So prior high 154, VWAP are the two places that I'll be looking for an opportunity to get back into get into it for the first time. I didn't actually trade this on Friday. We were trading. I was trading Circle. I think Obi was trading maybe CoreWeave, but I was trading. Well, we were both trading Circle. But it's CoreWeave's day today, and 154 and the volume-weighted average price about the only stories that you can get. Since we got into the trend break on IBIT, kind of weird. Oh yeah, I knew it. I put to what
happened?
I changed to a 1 minute chart. And I'm like, why is this? Why does this look funny? Because my black chart is different. Since I got in, there's not a red candle in IBIT on the 3 minute chart. So I'm still looking for that first opportunity to dip. As you can see, right at about 60.94, it was able to do it. Now you're holding above the volume weighted average price. I'll get rid of that little ugly candle in here to smooth the scaling up. If you can close this candle after a hold of VWAP, I'll add above 61. For now, I'm still kind of trying to get filled in front of the 90s and do a little bit better on price. Tesla still doesn't want to break trend. I think you got to be patient with this. And a lot of people in the chat are mentioning chip names all up and down. SMCI, 4% up, might be leading the pack in terms of a percentage basis. I just want to remind anybody that hasn't seen this and zoomed out, SMCI at 44 last week. Yeah, it was $44. That's exactly right. 44 last week was like monster rejections 3 days in a row. So that's one of those sniper tactics where if you get another dollar in here, you know where your one shot is, and that's usually to short it at that top. So congrats if you picked out this one. There was no catalyst specifically for SMCI, but like each candle on the 15 minutes bigger than the last. When I see that happening, usually I'm thinking about a sniper entry to the south side. Adara?
Here's the IWM, and this is a pretty interesting look here. We get this nice push pre-market, push to the upside, we gap up. We push much lower here off the open right now, though trying to recover a little bit, still up about 0.72%. So we're very much removed from our day's highs here, trading around 213 1/3 as of right now for that Russell 2000. First small cap gapper here is actually a name that ran a little bit last week as well. This is Unusual Machines, UMAC. This is one of the small cap companies that we actually have Donald John Trump Jr. here, or DJTJ. Donald Trump Jr. actually is on the board of this company. Older news story here, but worth noting for UMAC. Last week here on Wednesday, they announced that they're expanding their U.S. manufacturing. It's also worth noting they are a drone play. So this one on watch here, much like what we're seeing with Archer Aviation and Joby, as we do get this new executive order for drones in the U.S. Now here's Synaptogenics. This is SNXP. This went nicely to the upside, announcing that they've launched a $100 million AI tokens treasury strategy. So this is, again, continuing this trend of small cap names announcing treasury strategies. Here's Sound Group, SOGP. This one has a much larger market cap, about $1.7 billion, announcing today a $4 million buyback. Back to you.
All right, we got into Tesla. There it goes again. We are now $2. We are really cruising right now in this market, guys. So $2 now in the money on, well, Tesla is not $2 in the money. It's $2 in the money on Amazon, sorry. As there goes that break higher. We just tweeted that out as well. And then AMD is at the day's high. And then Archer is not doing anything. So a little bit of a couple new looks there. What else, guys? I mean, like JP Morgan. I don't know. I'm just really trying to, really feeling everything here today. But yeah, let's just figure out JP Morgan downside right now. I did want to look at Wells Fargo. They did have that asset cap lifted last week, as we talked about that one. So Wells Fargo right now flat on the day. So doing better than a JP, but you know, still definitely looking like a little bit of trouble here for the financials, considering the fact that the Nasdaq is up and the ES is pretty flat. So the Nasdaq being led for sure. I mean, we're as I said, man, we're doing pretty well here. So let's just wait to see if we can sort of continue that trend right now of higher, you know, higher, not higher lows, but higher highs, I guess.
Higher.
I was going to say, I don't know.
Oh, both.
We may, exactly. We may not.
Well, maybe not the banks, as I look
not
over
get
at
into
that
lows,
WFC chart.
right there. But yeah, so far so good. So yeah, we're just doing our thing right now. So WFC trying to make it something special. Tesla. So if this breaks 295, we're out. So we're able to take something out there at 294. We just get another reload right here. But yeah, definitely not the healthy stock that we were hoping for there when it was down at the bottom. We could have definitely bought that. Much better name than we had thought. And there goes Tesla. Oh, we got stopped out. Okay, so there goes breaking 295. So we tried it once.
Another one.
And then here's our first L on the day, but not.
Another one.
Okay, it's an L for sure because we did break that through. We were short at 294.70. We get stopped out on the break up, and I think we got a slippage of 10 cents or so there. So we actually got out a little bit early, faster than I thought we would have there. So yeah, man, you know, Tesla, good job there if you were patient enough to grab that long there on TSLA. Just to give you guys a little bit of context, I lost 10% on that Tesla of what we're in on AMD, and I actually only lost half of what my current position on AMD is worth. So like I said, man, no problems talking about that with you. If you have any questions about, you know, what kind of, if we're up, down, what kind of stocks we're trading, and what our risk looks like, that's what it looks like for me right there. So we lose about 5% of what we make on AMD. We lose that on Tesla right there. Yeah, so not great look at 295. It was good once, but not good twice. Up to 296 now. I don't think we hit this. I think we just wait. And we're as patient as possible now on Tesla. And if anything, we look for longs down here at the 200 period now because it's just moving oppo what we thought. And that's fine, man. I mean, when my players go oppo, I like that. So right there, we're talking about baseball, of course. So
hit the pitch where it's thrown.
Exactly. And if Tesla's doing that, then it's doing it. And we could get out of its way, and we did. So I feel pretty good about that. So yeah, we'll just wait for it right now. And hopefully we can get a dip buy opportunity there. AMD and Amazon, both $2, and Archer Aviation doing its own thing there. So NVTS, people like that. Many more names to talk about here today. It's only 10:25.
Yeah, still plenty of time left in the day, everybody. And CoreWeave, by the way, CoreWeave is starting to come back into that prior high. So if you see it pop in, there's only two places that I'm interested. 154 for a trend reverse, and then the volume weighted average price, which you saw, look, it snipered that 150 level as well off of the volume weighted average price. So shout out to the strength that is in CoreWeave, but also shout out to Trade the Pool, because they've got one of the most valuable parts of Trade the Pool to announce, and that is VOD, the Video On Demand Library, a free resource filled with real trading stories, strategy deep dives, and practical insights to help you grow. Whether you're looking to improve your entries, manage risk better, or just stay motivated, this is where experience meets education. And to make sure nothing valuable slips through the cracks, there's the note feature. See something worth remembering? Click Note, write it down, and it stays saved right inside the video. Head to tradethepool.com, tap the Trading VOD, and start completely free. Scan that QR code you see out in front of you as well. Shout out to Trade the Pool as well. Okay, we're pretty close to getting an entry. Let me just throw a stop in CoreWeave, just in case we grab it. In IBIT, we're trying to get that bid. We talked about where we're going to buy it on CoreWeave. Right, we got a bit of a trend break happening, potentially, in the first red candle on IBIT. I just threw an offer in front of the high, but if we put in our first red candle going into the high, I'm going to jump out and then get back in, ideally off of VWAP if that's where we catch the bounce, or we just wait for the lows again. But there hasn't been, we took the long into the volume weighted average price. There hasn't been a red candle since, so there hasn't been a lot of reason to want to get out of this thing and jump out of the trend. Still looking pretty good, and I'm just going back over to CoreWeave at this point, so I just want to make sure we updated the plan of action. Right now, one kind of strong move in and we'll get the high on IBIT, or we put in a red candle and I jump out of this on the 3-minute. And CoreWeave, as mentioned, I guess I did not just get filled there at 56. So it held 55, broke back through 56, kind of left the order in to see if you get picked up on that one. It's spready, as Adara would say, like a 25-cent spread at times. So you punch through and you don't really go that far of a cross. In that particular case, I might have crossed like 10 cents. and I didn't get the fill. So I'm not going to chase it $1 on CoreWeave. Definitely a big spread on that name. Trader Forever says they're short AMD at 121.57. I don't know if that's the name that I would be. Well, I see it's a double top up there. If I was thinking short on a chip name, it might be Intel at 21. Just because it's Intel 21, and like its chart looks pretty constructive for a trend break right now. But my focus is on CoreWeave and IBIT. But yeah, I don't know if AMD would be the one. Intel, $21, kind of a big level. Last time it was here, it represented the top. I think when I was gone, that would have been. But yeah, it's up 4%, but it's at a pretty key level, I think, for a short.
All right, yeah, I mean, that might be a great top because, and if you're going short there, I'm getting out of the long. So I think we might be sort of thinking the same thing right there as we get pretty high up there in the Nasdaq and so on and so forth. Let me just check out a position of mine, Marvell, right there. Yes, $71. I better hit up our friend right now who's long into this name like crazy. So nice move there on Marvell, up another 4% today as we bought that dip off earnings. Well, we bought it before earnings and then right to the upside. We didn't get any more. We could have at 60, which we,
there's something.
In hindsight, we should have. Other name that we're long in our own account as well, we're long many names in the account, but Big Bear AI looking okay as well. Let me check out what Robinhood's been doing so far here today as we're just chilling out, down 6% now. Okay, not so bad for Robinhood. I mean, I thought we had seen lower than that. Down to 69er and a nice little bounce off there, bouncing up basically $2 there from that bottom. So yeah, man, tonight is, it's not tonight, is it? But there's Oracle this week. They're reporting this week. So Oracle's huge move up from those lows, man. It's like 50 straight points up. It almost seems like they're yeah, look at that. Look at this. Whoa, I'm still on this for the daily. Get rid of that. We don't need that. Oracle, wow, really hot fire. A name that I wish I would have got more down. This is actually where I'm long down here, but I'm long there from like a year ago. 120 bottom, nice move up to 178. Oracle really starting to get going now. Again, ORCL into earnings this week. But yeah, probably what's up to Anthony there. I have a bunch of money sort of sitting around. You guys know that I've been selling some things off, and I've been watching for Webull. So yeah, I think there's a good possibility here to get long. I just wonder if it's down 2% today. Obviously, there's something wrong with this name right now. I'm almost rather buy it on good news and pay up 10%. Like buy this name once it breaks out, if that even breaks out, because this could have an $8 target to it. Its bottom is 10.50. If we break that, especially if we break that overnight on a story, then it's a pretty dangerous call right there. It's kind of like what I'm doing with Target, waiting for this name to break above 100 before we actually go long. Don't bother chasing a falling knife, even though it's been doing really well. So yeah, man, we're in the money. $5 almost, 250 plus 150 plus 1. Yeah, $5 right now. AMD just at the highs. And I was saying, you guys were talking about being short there. Just watch out, man. This is blasting higher right here. AMD really holding the day for me, and I hope it is for you guys as well. It's 10:30. It's time for your crypto recap, and Dara has news.
Just be aware here, you would see this if you check out our Trump calendar on X at TTV Research. I post a daily calendar of a schedule, but at 2 p.m., Donald Trump is set to host an event called the Invest America event. So for more details, apparently this event is going to be promoting Trump accounts. That's a program providing $1,000 in federal index fund investments to U.S. citizens that have been born between January 1st, 2024 and January 1st, 2029. Now, why this is relevant is because there are a lot of major CEOs set to attend this event, as reported by Washington Post. So CEOs from companies like Dell, ARM, ServiceNow, Uber, Goldman Sachs, and Robinhood are all expected to attend. Vlad Tenev, Robinhood CEO, he's already posted about this. So just be aware here, some of these companies could be on watch at 2 p.m. when we get this Invest America event. So that's certainly going to be on watch here. We talked about Bitcoin making a little bit of a downtrend from this new all-time high around 112,000 with these lower highs and lower lows, but it looks like we're trying to break out of that downtrend and resume this gorgeous uptrend that we started at the end of, or I guess the middle April here. We're back above this previous level of resistance here. We're right now knocking on the door of 108,000. So good look here for BTC as it tries to recover. Let's take a look at some of these other crypto plays because BTC, of course, really strong. Ethereum, nicely up on the day as well, up 1%, holding on to that 2,500 level. Tether relatively flat here. BNB up about 0.2%. Solana up 3%. Cardano up just under 1%. So lots of mixed performance here once again for these crypto names. They're not all trading in tandem as we tend to see as of late. Back to you.
All right.
Yeah, trying to break that pre-market high. But, you can look at Blue Ocean on this, or, you know what, forget about Blue Ocean. It's a 24-hour market. I love Blue Ocean. I have nothing against them there. But at the end of the day, you can look at actual spot prices of BTC. And if you look at where we're likely headed, it is almost exactly that 108 level. So I just moved my trailing stop on here. I think we can try to hold into 108. I don't know like I always say, I don't know the exact price on IBIT going into that 108 level, but you can see it. Like right now we're 107.7, so we're trying to challenge that high. There's still no red candles on the 15 minutes, so it's holding the trend line pretty well. AMD. So we're gonna hold along into that high of the day. We'll take it out if we fail a break at the high, and we'll buy the dip back into the volume weighted average price on this bad boy. So one shot to get in. Just had to wait for it, right? Like one shot to get in. There's your bottoming tail candle. Break of the prior bar high. Stop into the prior wick low. Not the wick low, actually body low. It's about 7 cents worth of risk here. Now we're holding into the high of the day. Yeah, good luck if you're short on some of those chip names. Maybe if on this last break higher, Intel is still holding under 21, I think that could be the one.
All right, man. I guess my guy over here, Joe's getting pretty hyped up. We are now $3. I hope he has this with me. We are now $3 in the money on AMD as that keeps on going. And by the way, Tesla off our 295 short. Look, it goes to 296, but it also prints 292. So that was $3 down for $1 up. So, if you want to try that short now at 296, I think it's given you enough of a move right there to sort of justify maybe potentially taking one more shot at that. I did take out some more. We're 3 for 4 with the loss there in Tesla. But again, the loss that we have in Tesla is smaller than any of the one wins individually. So it's been pretty good there. Archer just coming back up into $11. We'll see if that can do anything. We just took some more outs right here. We got some out at 90 and then some 98 right there. So Trump has let Bessent here levy tech. So we're going to wait to see if there's a deal coming through here. It's looking better and better. If Scott Bessent has enough, some power given back to him, then maybe that is part of the reason why we're seeing some of these chip names start to move back up to the upside as we get closer and closer to a potential something or other there in China, and that's at least better than what we have right now, as AMD is near all-time highs. One more time, man. But we're having ourselves a day. That's for sure right now. So as we keep on sort of trucking here on all of these names, man, it's just it's been a great one. We want to again thank everybody for watching and hope that you continue to do that. Our midday show is going to be a banger as well. Hopefully they'll be trading some Archer, some Joby, all of that as well, because these names have really been hot fire there. Let's see if Rocket Lab is chilled out just a little bit right now. I'm very specific with the names I'm looking at, man. I mean, honestly, this is the sort of style that I want to be doing, and it's been working out great. So, okay, Rocket Lab could be coming back in. We'll look at Archer now. That's at 11. So again, I only have about now 10% left. Yeah, actually a little bit more than that, about 12 or 13% left of ACHR, and actually debating getting some more out right now because we are starting to fall in just a little bit there, and we don't need it to lose. Okay, we just got some 91s. That was quick. What I was going to say is I don't want Rocket Lab to lose on this, because if this falls back in, then yeah, we probably have some more problems with ACHR if the whole space starts to lose. The other name over here would be Joby as well. So just be careful. I don't really look at one or the other. I just trade whatever I'm looking at because they all don't look the same. So I'm just nervous that we could be losing some of this move here. Joby did not, got going early, never has since. Archer, a Rocket Lab, is finally now breaking below that 50-period moving average. So that's a move to the downside. And then ACHR, as well, as we had just mentioned, got a little bit more out. NVIDIA's at the highs. Everything's really starting to blast, man. And we do have to go over to Adara. Is that right, Andre? To Neil. Let's go to Neil first.
Well, shout out to anybody that's finding your signals and are working today. But I can tell you, if you're looking for something to give you those indicators, to give you back testing of your strategies, it's still 1 month free over at eSignal. So you get to trade smarter, not harder. You have an intuitive platform, which is easy to use, highly customizable, reliable data. hooked up. You can hook up with multiple brokers. I think over at least 30 brokers, so you can trade automatically through there. You can use it. You can use the API to automate trading. Level 1, level 2 access, the imbalance locator. As we said, if there's an indicator, if there's a market, you can add an entitlement and you can customize your experience over with eSignal. So shout out to them, and make sure you scan the QR code in front of you and start your trading journey, or maybe continue your trading journey with a great piece of software. Let's go to Adara.
Just be aware here, I just want to, give some clarity on this story from the Wall Street Journal. So again, Wall Street Journal here, as mentioned on that desk, reporting that Trump is allowing some U.S. negotiators some leeway with regards to lifting export controls on China. But this isn't new. We actually had a member of the Trump team himself saying it this morning on CNBC. So this morning we had Kevin Hassett already, who's, one of their lead economic advisors. He already said that the U.S. has no problem releasing export controls on China if the talk goes well. So I just want to clarify, this news from the Wall Street Journal, while positive, is actually not brand new, and it's already been confirmed, or at least indicated here, by a member of Trump's team as of this morning. I want to talk about Amazon as well here. This one on Watch, I'm just seeing here reports that the company is investing $20 billion in Pennsylvania to expand its cloud computing infrastructure and advance AI innovation. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair. And as I said, if we failed the high, well, it's not necessarily a fail of the high, but we got to the high and then broke back under this prior bar open here on IBIT, that would be my signal to get out. It was a trend break that got us in. There's your pre-market. It's not really the pre-market low. That's kind of unfair to say. So call it like the 7 a.m. low. And then there was a fail break of that to get us our entry to play into the high of the day. First to VWAP and then hold into the high of the day. So IBIT looking pretty strong. Next step, ideally dip into VWAP. Right, like go to the high, revert into VWAP, bounce off VWAP, we go long again, and Bitcoin continues to be strong would be the name of the game. Did not get into core. The only other thing I was looking at during this time was a core weave potential dip into the volume weighted average price. That could still happen. So core weave up 11%. It's tagging 155 on a pullback and could still give you that dip into the volume weighted average price. I heard Sean just say, oh, Circle.
Yeah, wait till you look at Circle, yeah.
I'll pull it up now. Is it?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, it's tanking.
Yeah.
Okay, 100 was it 100? Well, no, 104. On Friday it was 104. Let's check that at 103. It was close. 103 is where the heavy dip buying came in to find support, which was also the day one high. So the day one high and Friday, call it lunchtime support, could be the next thing to come in. Yeah, Circle there's been no sign of breaking this trend to the downside. Just waiting for it to do so to take a shot at it. It's crazy because I guess he could have just shorted this and he would have been absolutely fine.
Been fine, yeah.
Wasn't really looking to do so. So CoreWeave, VWAP, IBIT, VWAP, those are the next two trades I'm looking to make.
Yeah, missed opportunity most likely there as it appears. So anyways, on Circle to get that short. I didn't pay for them, but all right, we're going to get out some more right now on AMD just because it's at 122. We talked about that maybe as being the high. We're long at 119 here, Sharif, and it's at 122. So this just is $3, and we might as well take some out. $3 in the money on AMD, $2.90 there on Amazon. Archer's having a problem, so I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Not going through $11. I like that IBIT play. Neil's out of it though, but I liked it. And then just because of what Bitcoin's been doing about that 108, I think we could bounce around there a little bit as well. And then I did want to check out my guy Donkey Kong coming through here again because that's a play, I think. So we'll have to wait for DKNG. But let's go to Adair for a story, then we'll come back and look at DraftKings.
Yeah, no story here, just a quick sector watch. We have lots of weakness here in finance. Berk B, Visa, PGR, MasterCard here all sharply to the downside. Health technology a little bit more mixed. Pfizer nicely to the upside here, but we have Intuitive Surgical down 6.5% here, getting a downgrade this morning. Super services a bit mixed. Energy, minerals very strong across the board. Transportation here, Uber nicely pushing to the upside. Keep in mind, Uber is one of the companies here expected to have a presence at Donald Trump's Invest America event today at 2 p.m. So UBER could be on watch. Industrials weak, commercial services weak, communications a little bit mixed to weak. Retail trade with the exception of Amazon here, of course, the sector leader, generally pushing to the downside. And then we have our tech sectors. Technology services, Oracle looking great here 2 days ahead of its earnings. Google and Meta also strong, but Netflix, which is near days highs, pushing a little bit lower today. Electronic technology, we have Apple on watch with WWDC, but a lot of these semiconductors really strong. This morning, we did have Kevin Hassett, who is one of the key economic advisors in the U.S. Trump administration, saying this morning on an interview in CNBC that he basically the U.S. is prepared to lower its U.S. export controls here on tech if the talks with China go well. Wall Street Journal reporting something to the same effect. Back to you.
Oh, Corey's not going to VWAP at all. Uber, that's a good-looking stock.
Yeah.
We like it. Uber. It's not, I don't want to say rotation from Tesla to Uber because that's not what I did. I sold a little bit of Tesla to buy some Uber shares after it broke out, and this looks fantastic. Well, it wasn't after it broke out. This was when we sold it. We sold the Tesla shares last week. But look at this continuation. It's almost filled in the entirety of the gap. I don't know if it breaks. It's probably not going to break 90 today. That's pie in the sky. But a 90 break is the next significant level here on Uber. And I guess today, maybe 87s on any kind of a dip. But someone asked me what I'm looking for off of VWAP. Like, what do you, when you say buy off VWAP, there's multiple ways that you can try to buy something off volume weighted average price. Put bid in front of a line on your chart and try and grab it. That's not my ideal. Ideally, I want it failing the high. I do want Bitcoin to go higher. I like Bitcoin. But I'd like it failing the high, coming back in, and then doing a trend reversal just like we did here at the bottom, and do the same thing off the volume-weighted average price. Trend back down, break the trend in front of the volume-weighted average price and get in. That's always the best. Or you could just do any kind of semi-consolidation. Like this kind of a consolidation would be good enough on a 3-minute, and then you grab the break higher there. But if it doesn't go back into the volume-weighted average price, none of that is even going to matter here on Bitcoin. We did jump out on that first red candle after it got to the high. And I don't want to chase it up here. I'm still waiting for our dip to get back into this bad boy. I see this KLTO that some people have been talking about here, Clotho Neurosciences. And then Shreve goes, oh, baby. This is going to do 1 billion shares today, apparently, and just halted for the first time today. So after 600 million shares, is this second halt? Okay, well, Shreve just said second halt. I only see the one that's obvious to me on the 3-minute, but halted with a current tap of flat. Not sure the exact story going on with this one, but it does seem to me like this is, yeah, it's going to do 1 billion shares. That's fantastic volume. We'll see what it does at the open. I didn't get a chance to see what it was doing when it was opened up, but what a good trade this was off $1. I like those dollar level holds, generally speaking, so if it were to pull back in, that'd be a spot that I'd be looking at KLT. I'm not sure the story here, so Shreve's going to send it to me, but I probably won't trade it unless we get back into that dollar level, or close enough to it.
Okay, I just was thinking about, and we just missed it there because I didn't see it go up there into 296, but I'm going to wait there at 395.85. Joe, what's for lunch is coming. Don't worry about it. I just heard Joe say, forget about all this nonsense. I just want to know what's for lunch. So we'll get to that very, very soon, Joseph. Don't worry. All right, man. Broadcom now below 250. So this was a level that, we had sort of thought about on the breakout there on earnings, but it hasn't necessarily been trading that well since you got up to 264. I mean, the earnings was just last week, so got to give it a little bit of room. You guys know we went into CRM, we went into Marvell, but Broadcom might be added to your boys' portfolio very, very soon as well if we continue this kind of a move back in for Broadcom. I mean, that 241 was a great level there. We'll see. If the market fades out, fine. We just dropped out of most of our positions here. We got out of some more Archer, and then now we're getting out of AMD, sorry, lost my train of thought right there. 122 and change right there coming for AMD. So definitely something to look at here. Dumping out that, Amazon's coming back in. And then so like Tesla's a big trade, right? I mean, Tesla, for a lot of you up there that we've been looking at this pretty much all day, you can see that Tesla's making that one move now finally back around 295. So this is going to be a pretty good area for concern for me anyways here on TSLA. So let's just continue to watch out for this right now and then see if we can make anything happen here. Would love to have gotten that short at 296. I think that was a missed opportunity there for Tesla. We were looking right at it, especially with this market fading back out. Good level, but messed up there. Should have been in this a little bit more aggressively. Tesla. Wanted to see if we can get something in Rivian, but that doesn't look the same. That's not really moving around either. Did FXI, and again, we got some good positive sort of Chinese talk today a little bit about, not Chinese talk, but the tariff talk there.
Well, Baba did nothing.
Yeah, and I was going to say FXI's not really doing anything either. So, yeah, it looks like the missed opportunity there for me. And we haven't really been wrong on this 295 short. You know, you only had to hold that $1.50 or so, which I think was about the maximum there. Not even like $1.25, $1.30 against you to have made it back. But yeah, NVIDIA will break all-time highs pretty soon there. Shout out to Jameson, who thinks that might be happening. I think you might be right. I called NVIDIA all-time highs by this coming Friday, so we'll see if that does happen. I mean, I think you can get it to tomorrow. If something is announced with China, then you're definitely getting there. There it is, 1 long and 3 Tesla shorts for Juan Padilla today. Good job on that one for sure. The Amazon's giving it up a little bit, and if something ever gets resolved in China as well, I think Starbucks has a nice upside play to it coming back in from that 118. I really do like Starbucks, and it's been slowly kind of grinding. It does remind me of my guy Amazon a little bit here, grinding higher and now breaking out. I actually like Starbucks in and around this level, so we can see if there's something going on there. SBUX in and around 89.50. Again, I like that stock in this area. So Starbucks has been a winner for me before. I think we can get back into that name, SBUX. And then, yeah, watch out for below now. Some of these chip names are coming back in.
Well, I don't know. Tobes in the chat just mentioned why is nobody talking about SMCI? We've mentioned SMCI a couple times. Like the only chip name that got traded today was AMD. I think on both ends, and NVIDIA is strong. Intel somehow magically is strong. Micron is strong. I don't know what's wrong with Broadcom in particular.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know specifically. Outside of it could just be Broadcom was up so much and sell-off on earnings is still continuing. But a lot of these names, I thought SMCI 44 was a level to go short, and it's like the sellers are starting to do some work here at 43.3, but the upward trend is held, so I think you're waiting on that. I did mention if Intel got to 21, that could be the one. It didn't, but 2095 might have been close enough. But it turns out maybe Intel was the one that you could have taken a shot on to the south side. Dangerous in the chat. Love the Intel comments. Well, all we said is short 21, and that it's not. I mean, it's chart
21 yet?
Well, like 2095.
Oh, that's close enough.
Our thing says the high is 21, but it's probably like a dark pool wick. Look, at the end of the day, one of these charts is not like the other, and I could pull up any one of the chip names after I pull up Intel, and you're going to see what I mean by that, right? Like AMD, strong upward trend, NVIDIA, strong upward trend, and then you go on and on and on, and it's just distinctly different. SMCI, this chart is just a tale of somebody selling this sucker at 44, and then anytime it breaks above, like there's just sellers in the mid 40s, but it is trying to break out. But until it breaks 44, I think you might be looking for the fade there. I just saw this red candle coming in, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to get Bitcoin now, pulling back into VWAP. We're going to go to Adair in a quick second for Money Talks, but it just broke the high again. So another topping tail on IBIT. I'm trying to be patient. I don't want to buy the top. I'm looking to pick it back up in front of VWAP. I think this could be the move down that gets it to us here as we go back to Adara, wait patiently for some dip buys and see how the US dollar is doing.
Looks like another thing you might have to be waiting patiently for here is going to be rate cuts, but we'll get to that in a second. Here is the U.S. dollar, this rounded top here, really continuing on this daily chart. Got a little bit of a bounce as of late. That was as of, I guess, mid-May, almost a month ago now, crazily enough, into that 102 level. But since then, we've continued to peter to the downside. Let's see if I can pull up a weekly chart for you guys, because we have just entered a new week. So this weekly on the U.S. dollar for the last 2 weeks has been pretty tightly traded. We did last week make a slightly higher low than our previous low, making a bottom here around 98.3. Let's see how this week continues. And I did allude to rate odds, so let's get more into that, shall we? Because things get really interesting. 99.9% of participants are not expecting a rate change at our June meeting. Our June meeting now is June 18th, 2025. 99.9% of participants, again, are not expecting a change. Now, if you go to 1 month ago, May 9th, 2025, shortly after the last Fed meeting, 82.8% of participants were expecting no change. So these odds of expecting things to stay the same have continued to push higher. 85.5% of participants, meanwhile, are also not expecting any rate cuts or hikes heading into the July meeting. So we're continuing to see very steady expectations that we're going to keep things the same. 1 month ago, 40% of participants were expecting that there wouldn't be a cut. Now, again, that odd is almost 100%. So continuously, we're seeing a steady uptick in the amount of participants that expect things to stay the same going forward with regards to rates. Back to you.
All right, day before. Oh, is Tesla still going down? A day before Juneteenth. So June 19th, we're off. June 18th, we get that note. So yeah, Juneteenth is a holiday. So that's next Thursday. Next Wednesday, we get that number. We take out some more on Archer right here before 11. So that's what we're doing. And Palantir, man, just continues to like get going. I don't really know what else to say about this name other than, yeah, giddy up, man. Palantir does its patented sell-off and then just tempt everybody to buy it.
It didn't really sell off on Friday.
Didn't. Yeah, I don't know what it did on Friday. I wasn't here. There, yeah.
But it wasn't that big.
120. It's down $1.50.
I guess it's because of the day before was so big.
Yeah, down $1.50, down about $2 today. So yeah, 127 to 120. Yeah, so good call. Up and down there for sure.
Something happening in Boeing here.
Is it going? But right now, I don't hear anything in my ear about Boeing.
It just blasted $3. So
yeah, I love Boeing. And again, I think a Chinese play here for BA, man. I missed it in my long term. I was at 120. I'm still in it, but I wanted to get more at 125. It went to 135, I think. No, 130, 128. That sucks. That's like that Rivian miss by Randy there. But all right, so nice move up there for Boeing.
That's a 52-week high break.
Yeah, I mean, what a great name there, BA. I've always liked this because of the China angle, and it looks like today kicking as well. So next Thursday, isn't next Thursday the 19th? Yeah, it must be. Not this coming Thursday, the next. So that's.
Next week is the Paris Air Show.
Oh, it is?
Well,
for Boeing. Oh, that's the story.
They always
I was talking about
announce
Juneteenth. Then.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Boeing.
Oh, no, that's okay. Maybe that's why they.
There's always like
look at Archer.
There's always deals that get announced during the Paris Air Show. Like Boeing has sold X amount of this, and Embraer, and that's not what I'm thinking about. It's who's the other guys?
Embraer.
No, the bigger one. It's Boeing and
Airbus.
There you go. Thank you. I don't know why I was struggling to get to spit out Airbus. No, you'll expect to see some deals announced there, and that could be very bullish for Boeing. So that's quite the candle in IBIT, the topping tail, that almost got you to VWAP on the first shot. Let's wait for a little more patience. I mean, that's a pretty nice and hefty pullback. If we break VWAP, then I wait for the low again. And the low was about 60, it's like 60.77, so call it like the 60.80s on IBIT if we don't get that shot off the volume weighted average price. So it's a pretty hefty pullback. I wasn't looking to go short, so it is what it is. We got to wait for those bids to come back in. That Palantir is so incredibly strong. Like the market anytime the market makes a topping tail and the stock picks that exact moment to break out when the market's pulling back, I feel like you should be looking for longs there. So I still stick with I like Bitcoin, but Palantir on Friday, like it did something similar where it did a late breakout, and obviously this was 1 o'clock, and then it just continued for the rest of the afternoon, and we ignored it to trade Circle and Tesla. But today, different story. If this holds the prior high, that's one of my favorite setups. Break out the prior high and then hold it on the way back, or simply hold the prior close. That's a good window, 127.70 into 128 to look for a dip buy. So I'll add Palantir to the list of join the trend with Bitcoin, and we'll try to pick this one up at 127, call it 127.80.
All right, here we go. Let's do it. Let's figure out what's for lunch here quickly, because we only have 4 more minutes left. Yeah, what's up to the millionaire, Micron and all that, man? We got another big show coming immediately after this. In 4 minutes, you'll be with Sharif and Joe talking about all of these things, man. We haven't really looked at Robinhood or SoFi or all of that stuff. Am I reloading AMD? We'll get to that in a minute. Jeff. All right, so what was there this morning? We had, again, fresh fruit, breakfast pastries, sort of bagel, plain omelets. Yeah, they didn't look that good.
It was just literally.
Yeah, it was just an omelet.
There's no such thing as a plain omelet in my mind.
It should have something in it, right?
Omelet has to have something in it, or it's not an omelet.
Right.
By definition.
Yeah, I'm down with that for sure. All right. Well, here we go. Let's forget about that. We all want to know the main story going on right now. It is Monday, June the 9th, and it's going to be a little disappointing. I feel like we just had this. Is it Monday, June the 9th? Okay, I wonder if this is a repeat. We'll figure it out. But we have written on here, it's another chicken kind of a day, so we'll go chicken dinner winner. And we have on here chicken fajitas. So, I mean, feel like I just said this last week, but it's there again today. Chicken fajita, I'll talk about it if it's going to be there. Mexican rice with diced tomatoes, sour cream, green onions, shredded cheese, and a chef's choice salad. So for lunch today, chicken fajita, some rice, some toppings. I mean, I'm down with it, but that is what's for lunch. Feels like, feels like we did have that lunch there last week. Thank you so much, Tia.
We have it all the time.
Hats off to everybody that traded with your boy today. It was a very, very good one, needless to say. We just got out some more Archer there at 11s. That's pulling back. Little nervous, man. If we break 1070, I think we'll get out of that one right there. We got to go. So I'm going to answer Jeff's question right there. No, but I do think this is not a horrible reload. I'm going to go hit the gym. We're going to do a couple laps. Maybe we'll figure out what we're going to do there. But I'm not going to reload. I'm almost out of everything right now. As far as a percentage, man, we have just maybe 2% left of this trade waiting for VWAP. If we break 120.50, we can get out. If you're going to reload it, though, I think it was Jeff who mentioned that in the chat. I'm a reloader down here. 119.50. Be patient, man. Patience is what you need at all times. If I don't see all of you until 1 o'clock, I'll be on the chat. Apple's also pulling back in there. This is a trade that you might want to make around 204. But again, watch out for Apple AI and all that today. Yeah,
keynotes at 1 o'clock, everybody.
And then Tesla, we've already shit the bed on that one because we had called this top numerous times in there at 295, then again at 296. We missed the 296. We go 0 for 1 for it at 295. But hey, man, that's the market. We'll wait to do better next time. Apple and Tesla are the two trades I'm looking for. And then honestly, that reload of AMD, I like it. So with only 2 minutes to go, if this gets down to 119.50, which is the 200 period moving average, which is the last time that we reloaded this, I'm longer at 119 flat, but that's not a bad reload at all. So wait for that to come in for you on AMD. And then Amazon, I don't think we'll get anything on Amazon. I really, really like that stock. Down here at 213 is another reload for me.
Oh, just one new note. Mullen doing what it does, which is halt to the downside. This is a flat bottom break through $6 if it even wants to, and it's indicating an open right at 6. So it's going to open another 5% down, it looks like. Yeah, I want to be sure. I just paid for locates. They are cheap, essentially 2 cents per share here on Mullen. We did miss this on Friday, but that's fine. We're trading, Circle was worth waiting for, as was Tesla. But if you're breaking down on Mullen, this is where everything sort of started. If it opens back up higher, maybe I'd look at the volume-weighted average price. But speaking of VWAP, we said be patient and wait for the volume-weighted average price on IBIT. We're almost there. That's where we're trying to catch the dip buy. One candle on the 15-minute has almost got us to the promised land. Right now, it's got a bottoming tail. That'd be an early entry. I think one more shot to pull a little bit lower before we engage in that long. As the market's trying to get to the volume-weighted average price, NVIDIA and AMD simultaneously are both at VWAP. Oh, and the other thing that we thought would get to VWAP but hasn't is CoreWeave.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just hasn't done it. There was one chance to dip by this on trend at VWAP, and it just hasn't done it since. This one's the other one that's on radar. So just IBIT, CoreWeave. We'll see about Mullen. If it ends up breaking that $6 level, then I'll probably take a shot going into it. But you do have to pay for locates, everybody. I understand not everybody can short Mullen. Obviously, we can. It's kind of like Circle. Everyone's like, how do you guys short Circle on Friday? Well, it's because at Real Trading, we have the ability to pay for locates on hard-to-borrow stocks. It's a tremendous advantage, but just because you paid for it doesn't mean you automatically want to short that. Trust me, because people were overusing those shorts on Circle on Friday just because they were cheap. You had one good shot to get into that short, and everything else was long. Not today for Circle. But we'll get our VWAP dip, I think, on Bitcoin soon, and hopefully on CoreWeave at some point today. Great one. Have fun at the gym, of course. Remember, WWDC at 1 o'clock, but it's the Bash Brothers right now. Yes, you can.
Boom, boom. Greetings and salutations. Beautiful people.